uli di sombranza tenmak et zu ita saluda antes di niga radzaudzan malak estrezas durante todo a nogi distancia como kupugi palu Zangiman malak guafi ikonung nasugi airi prebatu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues Atan Fanny Bandera Kau esta pagua pumalapa Giluk tanu man libri Tentami ti man ko badi
loved you from the very start. My love's on the table. Take it how you want it, boy. Yeah. Take it how you want it, boy. Let's settle down and have a conversation. Whatever you're thinking, I'll be sure to listen. You're my man. You got what I need. Calling to come running. I found what is it you're seeking. Don't worry, boy. Don't worry about a thing. You can put your trust in me. Just say the word, what it is that got you bugging. I'll be there whenever you are stressing. And when I do get close to you, all of your friends ain't got no clue. I just can't wait to be with you. I promise I'll make everything so easy. Boy, I'll be faithful. Promise not to hurt your heart. Swear I'm not able. I loved you from the very start. My love's on the table. Take it how you want it, boy. Yeah. Take it how you want it. Boy, I'll be faithful. I promise not to hurt your heart. Swear I'm not able. I loved you from the very start. My love's on the table. Take it how you want it, boy. Yeah. Take it how you want it, boy.
All right.
I'm
go.
all yours. Do it how you
Good
want
morning, Guam! Viva Miércoles! Good morning. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Banana Sidulus.
The door closed on Joseph.
Okay, sorry, our door cam. Hey, good morning, Guam! One more time for the cam. Hey, it's the link on the breeze, 93.9. Good morning.
The door cam's kind of pointless when the door closes on you.
Joe, sir, with our door cam shot. Let me catch that. Wow. Beautiful morning in
Wow.
Harmon. Oh, nice. Look at that. Wow. Joe, sir, nice shot. Part of our link stream team here, Jason Salas and Joe Sir. Shout out to Master Control, of course, Kengineer, and our KUAM news team. And here comes another one. Another episode of The Link on the Breeze. We're going to go medical.
Medical?
Yeah, we got a public health medical director, Dr. Jana Maglotnia, and we'll get the physicians advisory group. We have the chair, Dr. Hoa, coming on, and also Dr. Doomsday, Dr. Felix Cabrera. We'll also break bread this morning with Maria Pangolina, the Guam Election Commission, John Fernandez, Guam Department of Education Superintendent, and then we'll also talk with Juan Flores from the Catholic schools, and maybe we can get you a trophy since you're going to be my Teacher of the Year nominee. I didn't know, Breed, this is like the distance learning online stuff with the Catholic schools. It's like a full-time job for the parents. So,
I think all schools.
right, yeah. I mean, it's nuts, man. It's pretty crazy. Please, I'm just waiting for you to go. Are you going to wait to go off when we get
I'm not going
one
on.
on?
I'm tired.
Come on.
Too tired
Okay.
to go on.
And then we'll also get a Big Tone, Anthony, Big Tone Salas, meddler for, not a meddler like he meddles and stuff. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
I just wanted to.
Oh, okay.
You know, since Big Tone was supposed to be on and everything like that, he's been messaging me every day. His spirit has returned now. He was messaging me last night. He said he can't wait to get on the show, can't wait to tell people how he's doing, and he said he thanks everybody so very much for their thoughts and prayers. He goes, you have no idea how much that meant to me. Of course, he's got family and friends who, you know, I think he said he had calamansi honey, which really helped his throat because he's had a pretty bad sore throat. But he goes, man, the messages, the DMs, the prayers, you know, just the uplifting thoughts and everything like that. He goes, I can't wait to give it back to you guys.
Right on. So he's coming on at 9. We're actually punching out early today.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're over on our overtime.
We're beyond overtime.
Wait. You got overtime?
Yes.
The Chamber of Commerce, they're having their congressional forum So we've got Underwood, Will Castro, and Congressman Michelson Nicholas. They got scheduled for 10, right, Jace?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
10
and
o'clock.
we are-
So
they said they won't be live streaming it.
They're not going to be live streaming it, but
can join it.
we
You can-
are. So you check out our KUM News Facebook page.
Yeah, if you actually want to sit in on the thing, you can
Yeah.
register on their site, and they'll
Yeah.
let you in the go-to-meeting, but we're going to
Okay.
put it on our Facebook page. So
We're going to put it on our Facebook page. Basically,
They're
long
Super
story
Bowl.
short. Yeah. Okay. And that's going to happen at 10?
Yeah.
At 10. Okay. So let's get it started then. We got a lot to do since we're punching out at 9:30. Good morning. Hey,
got a
the
lot to do.
this show, it's proudly brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, FHB.com. You check out their website. Also, Cabo Enterprises and IT&E. It is the link right here on the Breeze 93.9. Good morning to our viewers on KUAM TV 11. Good morning. Good morning, sunshine. And also to our listeners on the Breeze 93.9, we had an audio stream, Docomo Channel 10. And last but not least, on the KUAM News Facebook live stream. Thank you, Melanie, for watching. Joseph Perez wishes Guam a good morning. Chris and Sabrina, God bless our island. I know Debbie is here from Bardstown, Kentucky.
Hi, Debbie.
Good morning, Victor Balahandia. Patricia, buenas, bananas y dulces. Charity writes in, good morning, KUAM. Be safe from this virus. We are trying. I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks. And then we have Roberto Fracassini saying, Buongiorno, Guam. Hey, forget about it.
Wow.
Yeah, so thank you, guys, for tuning in. Please share the show. We got a lot of doctors coming on again. We'll really look at the medical side of things. And then also, with the superintendent, find out what's in store for this Friday, as on paper at least, right? The lockdown's supposed to end. And so is the
Supposed to. end.
suspension of the face-to-face. So we'll find out. Yeah, it's supposed to end. It's not going to end, guys. Just
Yeah.
steel your mind and get ready for that at 6:17.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We also want you guys to give us a call, 637-0094. Let us know how you're doing these days. And,
Check in.
And for those of you who are watching us online, if you have questions for any of the guests, or please post it.
Yeah, we check the comments, and we'll do our best to get your questions to the people who may have the answers at 6:17. Let's do news now. From the KUAM news team, Sabrina Salas Matanani. Good morning, Sabrina.
Half a day, everybody. Here's what's making news. There are 77 new positive cases, bringing Guam's COVID-19 case count to 984. 429 of those cases are active. 429 are recovering. There are 7 deaths. According to Tuesday's situation report from Public Health, 28 people are hospitalized. In terms of the new cases, a bulk of the positives, or 42, are young adults ranging from 20 to 39 years old. Meanwhile, the total number of police officers infected with the virus now stands at 11 after 2 more officers tested positive. All officers are in home isolation. The latest one to test positive are assigned to GPD specialized units. Over at the Guam Department of Education, an employee at Harry S. Truman Elementary tested positive for COVID, bringing the total number of COVID cases at GDOE to 15. Contract tracing is underway. Another positive case to report out of the Guam legislature. The employee remains on home isolation and was last in the Guam Congress building on August 12th, the day before it was closed, following another employee testing positive. This would bring the total number of confirmed cases out of the legislature to 3. As reported, Senator Will Castro previously came forward announcing he had been infected with the virus. According to a media release, Public Health has provided a timeline on procedures for reopening the Congress building. The earliest possible date is tomorrow, the day the Speaker has called her colleagues into session to address legislation to cancel this Saturday's primary election. The Guam International Airport Authority also announcing that a second employee testing positive for COVID-19. The first confirmed case was reported on the 13th. Airport Executive Manager John J. Kukanata says they continue to effectuate measures to ensure the protection of the community by limiting entry into the terminal exclusively to airport authorized employees, passengers, and those providing essential services. The Republican National Convention is underway in North Carolina, where delegations from across the country officially nominated President Donald Trump. Representing Guam was National Committeeman Juan Carlos Benitez.
Madam Secretary, a warm half a day from the U.S. territory of Guam, homeland of the Chamorro people, Tanoy Manchamorro, where all are welcome regardless of your race, creed, and national origin. We would like to express our sincere gratitude, Sijus Maase, to President Donald Trump for making sure that the people of Guam are treated as equal members of our great nation, especially with the federal relief that has been provided to the territory during this global pandemic. Sujus Masi, President Trump, in providing closure to the Chamorro people that suffered horrible atrocities during the 3 years Japanese occupation of our island during World War II. We raise our voices and pray to Our Lady of Camelin, Santa Maria Camelin, the patron saint of our island, to bless President Donald Trump and bless President Mike Pence in this upcoming election. Madam Secretary, the territory of Guam is proud to cast its 9 votes for President Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump.
Benitez was joined by Guam GOP committee women Margaret Metcalf and Shelley Gibson. And with day 2 of the 2020 Republican National Convention and the theme of the night is Land of Opportunity, here is Skylar Henry.
Day 2 of the Republican National Convention is expected to feature another appearance by President Trump, as well as speeches from the First Lady Melania Trump and 2 of his children. On Monday, with a limited number of delegates on hand, Republicans unanimously renominated President Trump for a second term. The president made a surprise stop in Charlotte and later during the first night's program appeared from the White House. While meeting with essential workers, he downplayed the threat of COVID-19. Even though on Sunday alone, there were around 38,000 new cases.
We just have to make this China virus go away, and it's happening.
Convention speakers all took turns praising the president's first-term performance and bashing the president's Democratic challenger, former Vice President Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is basically the Loch Ness Monster of the swamp. For the past half-century, he's been lurking around in there. He sticks his head up every now and then to run for president. Then he disappears and doesn't do much in between.
We face discrimination.
Nikki Haley, the former U.S. ambassador to the UN, was a featured speaker last night. And this morning, she talked about what her party needs to do to win.
The Republican Party needs to continue to talk about policies and substance and where we're going from here.
President Trump will formally accept his party's nomination in a speech from the White House Thursday night. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington. Washington.
You can watch a live coverage of the RNC on KUAM, Channel 8, beginning at 12 noon. The Guam Department of Education invites parents to participate in a series of distance learning stakeholder meetings with GDOE management via Zoom or Google Meet video conferencing beginning next week. The distance learning stakeholder meetings provide an opportunity for GDOE leadership to provide more in-depth information to parents regarding the distance learning models this school year and the impacts to the department due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The forum also provides an opportunity for parents to ask questions, seek clarification, provide feedback, and input regarding how the distance learning instructional models can be improved. Over the past 2 weeks, the GDOE implemented distance learning for all students, either through online or hard copy instructional models. Due to the evolving COVID-19 situation in Guam, schools are temporarily closed to the public during the governor's stay-at-home order. As GDOE works to continue teaching and learning in this new environment, it recognizes that communication with stakeholders is key to ensuring a shared understanding of distance learning strategies and areas of improvement. This critical feedback will help the department to improve and strengthen its approach to distance learning this school year. A total of 7 distance learning meetings will be held for elementary and secondary families in the northern, central, and southern regions. Elementary parent meetings will cater to parents of students in pre-kindergarten through the 5th grade. Secondary parent meetings will cater to families of students in 6th through 12th grade. You can find the schedule on our website. A pair of hiking incidents involving a group of military service members is being investigated by individual commands. Navy Lieutenant Commander Rick Moore says Joint Region Marianas is aware of the reports of service members hiking amid PCOR 1 in Guam, adding if a service member is suspected of violating HPCON Charlie, PCOR 1, or other local health protection orders, whether
You can
on
find the schedule
or off
on our
base,
website.
we will investigate. As reported on Sunday
A pair of
evening,
hiking
GFD's
incidents involving a
911
group of
center
military
received a call that a male hiker had gotten lost in the Fenner Reservoir area. GFD rescue units were able to locate the hiker. Then early Monday morning, a call came in for another lost group member around the Mount Lamlam area. That hiker was found along the roadway by a motorist. According to Moore, service members determined to be in violation of these directives may be held accountable under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Guam Economic Development Authority announces the extension of its qualifying certificate community contribution grant program deadline for applications that was originally due on the 28th. The program aims to provide grants of up to $10,000 to nonprofit organizations for projects that will benefit the island community. The grant funding is provided by Guam Regional Medical City and Tsubaki Hotels. Projects must fall within one of the following categories: healthcare, public safety, higher education, cultural preservation, tourist attractions, sports tourism, or economic development. The new deadline for the application is September 11th at 5 p.m. More information, you can go to investguam.com. Attorney General Levin Camacho, alongside other attorneys generals from all 50 states and the 5 other U.S. territories, is urging Congress to adopt key changes to the Victims of Crime Act, which provides critical financial support to victims of violent crimes and their families. The attorneys general call on Congress to adopt changes to the Crime Victims Fund, which is a national fund that supports victims' services programs. The recommendations will stabilize the fund's finances and provide more flexibility to grantees who are providing services to victims and their families. AG Camacho says the measures they're calling for would also help sustain the Criminal Injuries Compensation Program, from which they have awarded over $600,000 to victims of violent crimes and their families to help with expenses such as medical bills. And that is your news.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, 6:26. We'll take a short break.
Yes, Jason?
Yeah, Jay.
Okay, we just put a poll up for those of you. This is an interactive show, and we want to know your feelings, as Chris and Bree were saying. We got a poll up right now. It's on Twitter right now. We also threw it in the comments for those of you on Facebook. I'm doing the Instagram version right now. Do you think that the PCOR 1 lockdown should be extended past this Friday? During the news thing, Chris kind of like powwowed. That I shouldn't even take credit for it. This is all like his bright idea. So if you feel, whether or not, pro or con, yes or no, 1 or 0, black or white, whatever, join the show. Let us know. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. You can vote on Facebook right now. Let us know if you feel that the PCOR 1 lockdown should be extended past this Friday. All right.
All right. Thanks, Jay. You guys can vote on that. Is it up on the Twitter too? Yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. So, hey, I got a birthday shout out. Scott, it came in on my WhatsApp. Matala Jude, happy first birthday, coming from Grandma Regina. So, good morning on you. Hey, the number again, 637-0094. It's the link on the Breeze, 93.9. We'll catch up with Mayor's Council Vice President, Mayor Robert Hoffman, who's also on the Interagency Homeless Task Force. We'll do that next, and then we'll head over to Dr. Cabrera from the Physicians Advisory Group next on the link. It's The Breeze. Good morning, Guam.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast, with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
Half a day.
I'm Dr. Jana Manglonia, Medical Director for Public Health. We all play a role in slowing the spread of COVID-19. We must continue to stay strong and practice every day preventive actions to keep our island safe. Maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and others. Wear cloth face coverings in public settings. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Clean and disinfect frequently used surfaces. Avoid touching your face. Stay home if you're sick. Let's protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or check out our website at dphss.guam.gov.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6. Good morning. 6:30. Some of the comments here on our poll question: should we extend the lockdown past this Friday? Mark writes in, considering hospitals' limitations, yes, extend it. Jolyn Manglotnia, with 28 people in the hospital and several in ICU, most definitely, yes. Cynthia, yes. Glory Gumabon, no brainer, yes. I think that's where I want to say that's where our people are now, Bree. People I talk to.
On yes to extending
that
the
this
P4.
is something that we have to do. Short-term pain for long-term gain.
And I think if Lillian Posadas is on the air and she's describing the serious situation it is at the hospital, and that she would be amenable to having it extended, I mean, I think we should listen to her. I mean, she's already trying to shuffle around patients to continue to bring in, just to deal with the situation. She says it's fluid. I mean, there's 2 isolation rooms in the ER, and both are occupied by COVID patients.
I mean, they're like that close away from putting patients in the elevator. Let's just be honest.
The ICU COVID care unit 2,
right,
where they provide the ICU level of care. There's 4 people in there, and that's how many beds they have in there. Well, they have 5, but because the ventilators, it takes up space, so they're only able to use 4. And they open the COVID care unit 4, where the telemetry ward usually is.
Bernard Ancheta, yes. Ivan Jr., Leon Guerrero, yes. Clara Mendiola, yes. Maylin De La Cruz, yes.
Yeah, the responses are quite fast and furious. Well, on Twitter right now, the split is 68% are saying yes, they do believe that Guam's P4-1 lockdown should be extended past Friday. 32% no at this point. It's also on Instagram right now. You can also vote on our Facebook story. So every platform where we've got a story, we want to know what you feel about this. All right?
Yeah. And Emily writes, most definitely Hungen.
Yeah, that's cool. So we got yes, no, Hungen.
Yeah.
What about, do you think that the prohibition on public going to public beaches and parks for individual use, do you think that should still be in effect during the P4-1 lockdown?
Are you asking me?
I'm just asking.
Are you just asking?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, it should. They should lift it. And we got to be good about it, because the reason why they...
You think they should lift it?
I think they should allow people to go exercise. Yeah, individually, though, guys. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Individual. We're not, and that's the problem, Bree. We're not individuals here on this island. We're like, together, interconnected, intertwined. So we don't really understand the meaning of individual.
So that's why the governor's like, no.
Yeah,
you don't understand.
But maybe they took away the privilege for so long that now we get it, Now they're
week.
gonna, yeah. I mean,
They
I
took
don't
it
know.
away
We'll
for a
see.
week.
Yeah,
You don't know what you got that was gone.
6:34. But people are finding a way. I think people are finding a way. I saw a guy running in Magilao this morning with his whole runner's outfit on, you know, so what are you going to do? Tackle the guy and frickin' tase him? No. And we had GPD on yesterday, and that's crazy.
Yeah. You know,
he said they haven't issued a single
usually,
ticket.
When I come in to work at 4 in the morning, I always see this elderly couple walking on Marine Corps Drive in Gigo.
Right.
And since the lockdown, I have not seen them. But that's their exercise every single morning, Monday through Friday, without fail. I see them.
Yeah. So, and I mean, we're hearing, and we'll ask the doctors. We'll ask every doctor and everybody we get on this morning about what their thoughts are on extending the PCOR 1 lockdown. But will it be extended the same way with the same restrictions that we're seeing now? Will the banks continue to be closed? Will, again, that ban on the individual park and beach use continue to be in place? I don't know. There's a lot of pressure on the governor, and, you know, adding pressure yesterday. Well, not just the governor. It's on all the leaders, really. This protest in Tumon. What are your thoughts on that, Bree? Let me throw you something loaded.
You know.
That's it. You know when a Chamorro starts off with that's nothing good after that. So okay, Bree.
Okay, so Tom Pinehoff was on yesterday, and I
Right.
think he made some valid points with regards to, you know, you do have some elected leaders, all of them really. You know, they're still collecting a paycheck, where a lot of these small businesses, they are hurting. And they have not seen anything from the local government to help them. So, and they have to continue to pay like their rent.
And we have the video, and we're going to show you guys.
Yeah. I want to get Mayor Hoffman on because he looks like he's got some interesting opinions on this. Good morning, Mayor. We got Mayor Hoffman on, the Sin on You Mayor. This is your mayor, Sin City. He's also the vice president of the Mayor's Council, and he's also on the Homeless Interagency.
And he's also
Task Force.
successfully been elected another term because no one's running against him again.
Yeah.
So good job.
Good morning,
Thank
Mayor.
you. Good morning.
I guess first of all,
morning.
let's
How are you?
good. We're okay. What do you think of the protest?
I wish it didn't have to happen, and it's hard, you know, when you have a lot of people. I mean, we're doing food distribution yesterday with the fruits and the meats that came in from the USDA, and everybody we meet has a story, and they're struggling, and you know, they just want people to, as everybody just hunkers down for a while, flatten that curve. And I was saying that last night. We haven't heard that whole flatten the curve campaign since the beginning side of it. It kind of went by the wayside. And I think everybody needs to do their part to lower this, because I understand the healthcare professionals' concerns. We understand the business owners' concerns. We understand all these concerns everywhere. And just to meet those hundreds of people yesterday, one by one in their car, they didn't get out. We brought the food into their car, the trunk. You know, we had contactless distribution. It really just shows that, you know, these were people from all different walks of life. So we had, you know, even people who own businesses came and got their food and their share. So they also want they agree with the lockdown right now, and they'll do whatever it takes. You know, they have this compassion for other people. They have concern for other people than themselves. And I think that's the Christian thing to do. That's the right thing to do. And that's pretty much our island way of life. We're supposed to be about inafamalik and helping each other. And we've never been about the me.
Right. And so with this protest, we'll just go back to this. What did you make of this sentiment where it was like, let the virus run its course and the house arrest? Because I wasn't sure what the messaging was. A little confusing for me. I mean, do they want to some of them do just want to reopen everything 1,000,000,000%.
But we've seen that in those other areas where they've done that, and we've seen what happens. So I'm not sure why. I mean, if we're saying, you know, follow the science or follow this, we've seen what happens, and doesn't make any sense to just let the virus run its course and sacrifice people here and there. I've seen stories about people in Sweden where their families are pissed off because, you know, why did their loved one have to be the sacrificial lamb to kind of get this group testing or whichever else like that? And I don't think anybody wants that to happen. Nobody wants the death. And people are saying, oh, but it's survivable. But, you know, if you look at the dashboard yesterday, did you see the dashboard when they released the results yesterday? it's Dededo has the most cases, over 200, and then the next village is Santa Rita, but that counts for the Navy base. And it makes me wonder what's going on in the Navy base with so many cases. I could say maybe they're tested at Naval Hospital, but they could be from anywhere else. But the fact is, if you look at the Santa Rita area where the Navy base is, it shows that there are over 100 cases, active cases there. So what's going on in that side of the island that, they're not doing, is it, and that they're pretty much free to do what they please in the Navy side. So
they're golfing.
There is concern. There is evidence there. So,
Well, just for our listeners, we are securing that interview with Admiral Manoni.
Right.
It looks like we're going to have him on Friday, so we can ask him more questions. And if you have questions, please post it.
Right. Yeah, but don't give out the questions because we want him to come on.
No, I mean
Yeah.
he's when I asked, he seemed more than willing to come on. I think he understands there's questions that everybody in the community has.
Right. So just hang on to those questions for another couple of days. I mean, we try to get him on, the day of, but obviously busy guy's an understatement. Mayor, so we'll just catch up now on the Homeless Interagency Task Force if you want to put on that hat. I know that we tested the homeless out of Global Dorm. What's the status on that?
So from what I understand yesterday, speaking generally, the results were all negative, but in order for them to call each of the people who took the test, a lot of the homeless don't have phones and don't have service or stuff. And that became a barrier. And that's something we also realized, saying, how do we do that? How do we test people? And sometimes people especially are very leery of answering numbers they don't know. And I get that all the time as a mayor. Is this legit? Is this a scam? Is this about my computer operating system? Is this going to be a different person at the other end of this? So that became a challenge. So when we ended up kind of finding out and doing the research, I want to thank you actually for asking me this, because I posed a question to the group. I said, where are we at this? And then the contact group came back saying, we've been trying, but they either don't have minutes or they don't have cell phone capability. So what we did is we were able to get the shelter manager to get them to sign waivers and releases so they can get the information for that person. And they came back and said, you're negative here and there. So we understood the challenges that are there. And it kind of moving forward, when we do the street homeless testing, that'll be something we're going to need to put into place already so we can find them and let them know their status.
Right. That includes the staff, right, that are negative?
Yes, that includes the staff, yeah.
And when do you plan on starting
and right now we're
street homeless testing?
We've put in the request to public health. I know they're actively trying to chase after all those that currently have COVID and doing the contact tracing and spreading that out and trying to see where they've been. I know they've been, GPD and all those other places, those schools. And, that's the hard part is these areas or these employees of these schools, and they come into contact with, 50, 60 people in a day, like Chris was saying, this is Guam. There's no by yourself. We all go in a lounge room or we eat together or we,
if you're by yourself, we're gonna come check on you, unfortunately, for COVID, right?
Yeah. So, these are so I think they're trying their best on that end to kind of catch up where it is. So I understand the governor's in a very hard predicament, you get advice from the physicians group, you get advice from people with the economy, you're trying to deal with your own cabinet and your own friends and family and trying to just really balance that out.
The life sheet shows, though. Yeah.
Yes, and it's never just one group that gives you that. And I think that's the sign of, you're listening to everybody, kind of you're trying to absorb as much information here and there. And, there's the science behind it. There's the cultural side of it. There's, I know it's hard for her. It's hard. She's closing, to close down things that people got used to opening during PCOR 3. And, my wonder is are we going to go from PCOR 1 to 2 to 3? Are we going to go from 1 to 3? Or
let's talk about that, man. With the lockdown, supposedly ending this Friday, but doesn't look like it. Have the mayors been contacted at all or folded into any conversation on a possible extension of this current PCOR 1 lockdown?
No. Last night we kind of, after we saw the results, we kind of just sent that in our, as what does it look like, and I guess they're going to have that discussion and see and weigh, because if these results are coming out from the last 10 days worth of testing, and it's not really showing now, what can we do? And a lot of those people who probably do have COVID. Like I said, we understand the hospital's concerns. So I'd take the lead from the hospitals, and I think maybe today they should probably, if I was in that group, I would probably say start finding a way to shore up the tent hospital and everything else, just to be sure, just to be safe, because like you said, you don't want to be in the elevator or be the unlucky. You don't want to be patient number 16. If they only have 15 ventilators, you want to be patient number 16.
They're like about to bust off futons.
Yeah, so I think that's, it's a hard decision. And for us mayors, we're still out there giving the food. We're still out there doing what we can. And I think, I know we sent out a press release the other day about the junk collection, the recycling collection. Please don't put it out on the curb yet. We've actually stopped. The contractors who are assisting us have stopped. They've opted to follow the executive order, stay at home. So we're not doing that, and we're actually not doing that right now. And we'll let the people of Guam know when the mayors are starting to ramp up those efforts. So please don't dump it. Don't do what they did at Wistig Road or anywhere else there. We're just asking everybody just remain home and just ride this out.
Yeah. And unfortunately, during the first wave, we saw that people were still illegal dumping.
Yeah, and it's a challenge for you saw that, but then that was household trash at every other place, and we're still getting that, and hopefully people are being more vigilant there. And I mean, being at home is a good time right now to kind of sign up for the other programs your mayor's offices have. Our office, we're doing Zumba via Zoom, so
it's Zumba.
We're actually calling it Zumba with the and we're doing Zumba.
That's cute.
And we just, we record it there at our office, and we do it there. My senior citizens manager is also a certified Zumba, and so we did it last night. It was our first
He
class,
says,
and it
you're
was pretty
talking
cool.
about Ken, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he got his Zumba black belt, I heard, last year.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days we'll join you for your Zumba.
Yeah, we were actually
your guest Zumba.
I know, because during the, there's no individual exercise, so we kicked around the idea. Man, Mayor really just like over the weekend, I was like, dude, Mayor Hoffman has a guy Ken. He's always doing the Zumbas. Let's go jump on the Zumba. But the thing we had is like when we start playing all that copyrighted music, it's going to kill our stream.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And you can't really Zumba without music.
We'll make it work.
I want to just follow up on the here comes Debbie Downer. The number of confirmed COVID cases in Sinohania. How many do you guys have there?
I don't believe I have not heard that we have any. In looking at the dashboard, we're one of the lightest colors in the group there. So, and then in talking to my residents, they haven't said, or like I said, normally they're very good about letting us know if because we're interacting with them and doing things. So right now, they're not. I haven't heard any for Sinohania itself. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of my residents and want to keep it that way. And knock on wood, we're going to continue that. But I did ask, and many of the villages did ask, that when we do ramp up testing again, a lot of the villages did sign up. I know Agate and Arahan, Sinohania, Agania Heights, they were like one of the first ones right out the gate asking, can we get retested and stuff like this. So it's a good way to kind of reassure people. But, the testing is a snapshot in time. You could test today and get exposed tomorrow. And so that's the hard part. And, it's not a virus that you can see. I wish it could turn people a different color, like in Willy Wonka or something, so you can tell, like, hey, you have the virus, but that's not the way it is. And so the people that did get it, I really feel for them. And it is a struggle. We constantly talk to them who are in other villages. I know some people actually have it, and it's the fevers come and go, the chills, and they're miserable. And I know it has certain days. I think they're on like day 5, day 6. Day 5 to 9, I heard is the worst. And so, many of them are in the midst of that. I think tomorrow's their day 9. So
yeah,
I'm happy for them on.
I was able to pull it up. Yeah, you guys have 12 cases, but 6 are active and 5. Or my math is so bad.
Yeah.
12 cases and 5 not in isolation. So that would mean 7 are active cases.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I know some mayor's offices actually have employees that have tested for COVID. And so they've had to shut down and get tested too. And it's very unfortunate because you start to wonder where you get this. And, some people are getting mad saying, I'm getting it from my work site. I said, you can't prove that. You can't prove that you got it here or there. You could have gotten it at the store. You could have got it anywhere. It's airborne. It's, you can get it through your eyes or touching your face, or a bunch of places. So it's hard, but all we got to do is be safe out there, and we're trying our darndest. I would hate to say it's a matter of time before we all catch it, but at the rate the worldwide is going, South Korea is getting it back, Hong Kong, and all those other places, we just got to pray for a cure.
Yeah. And in the meantime, wear your mask and stay home.
Right on.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Mayor.
Thank
well,
you, Mayor.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there. Thanks for everything
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Appreciate it. Thank you for asking the update. It helped us kind of prompt and figure out a solution for it. So I really appreciate it. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Mayor. All
Take
right.
care.
We'll see you. Wash your hands.
So take care.
Okay. Stay home.
Bye-bye.
6:50. Let's keep it going in the KUAM News. A Zoom room from the Physicians Advisory Group. Dr. Felix Cabrera joins us with that lockdown hairdo. Everyone's got it, Doc.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning, Doc?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Can't complain overall. And so, how about you, Chris and Sabrina? How's your health?
We're feeling good. Worked out yesterday. I did squats in the kitchen.
I slept really good yesterday. You got to work out.
Yeah. Just trying to
Well, it's a
stay.
great thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
No, saying it's a great day when people are really advocating for exercise. And again, it's one of the things like was said earlier that you appreciate it more when that liberty is taken away, temporarily, but it makes you really appreciate it in a different sense and appreciate our island's beauty and how much we want to get back out there. And so, but good. So everyone who's complaining about exercising, once everything's lifted, I better see you out there exercising.
By the time everything's lifted, I'm gonna have abs, I think.
Yeah, abs of
Flabs of steel. 10. 6:51, Doc. So I guess we'll just start off because we're getting Dr. Hoa on, and you guys all have different hats in the PAG. We'll go ahead and we'll discuss first the mobility data. Now, we'll take it back to when we had Dr. Wen on. Before this stricter lockdown was announced, we had heard that the mobility data from PCOR 3 to PCOR 1 was actually pretty similar, and that's what kind of warranted the decision to further lock things down because people weren't taking it seriously and staying home. So can we just start on the mobility data and what we were tracking then versus what we're seeing now? And maybe for those of us just joining us, explain what the mobility data is.
Yeah, I was going to start with that. Good point. So basically what we have, and the only thing that we have in our arsenal right now is using a sampling of the mobility of persons here on Guam, but that's mainly through Apple and through their iOS device. Now, this is not something it's tracking every iOS device. It's really those who have enabled location services and have used Apple Maps or used that to predict ETA's estimated time of arrivals to work or what have you. So it uses that and it's completely anonymized. And so in the end, you just get this percentage number where 100% is our baseline. And then anything below that means lower mobility, activity on the island, and anything higher means higher than baseline, of course. And of course, we always see the highest mobility on government payday Fridays. You see and that usually matches with the traffic that we see historically.
So what are we looking at?
So you're able to track where I'm. Well, you can't track where I'm going, but you're able to tell if you have a cell phone. You're able to monitor how people are out and about on Guam.
Yeah, it's just a general. It's just a GPS location, and again, it's only when they're using the either Apple Maps, navigation system, or if they're using that even not fully open, but let's say they're using it to do an estimated time of arrival between certain areas. Like sometimes it automatically comes on as it starts predicting your mobility. But anyway, in the end, it's a sample. It's a sample of what Guam is, and
what's the sample size?
Sorry.
What's the sample size?
Oh, it's hard to say, and they don't give us that information. But you can just think of what the market share is of iPhones here on the island, and then a percentage of that of those people who actually enable the location services.
So, Doc, I guess. Go ahead. I mean, I just said we don't have a sample size. That how accurate is the data, and you just kind of view it as like a snapshot then.
Yeah. So what we do is that we look at it, and obviously it's daily, and the day of the week is important because it changes, obviously. So we also look at a 7-day rolling average of that. And what we do see is that you can eyeball it, and it does pretty much match up with what we see on the roads if you're out and about and seeing that, and seeing when you see different spikes and on particular holidays and what have you. And like I mentioned again, on Gov Guam Payday Fridays, those are, you see the highest bump on those days. So it's pretty consistent. And so, but what's really important about this is that it does tell us, gives us an objective way to look at compliance and behavior and responses to different policy changes that the government makes. And so with that, we can see. And so what we've done is that we looked at the mobility back in March and April, and looked at that and looked at how that related to the number of cases and even the hospitalizations. And what we notice is that once the overall mobility drops below 80%, that about 10 to 15 days after that, that's when we may see the peak in hospitalization census at GMH for COVID cases. And so it's good to know that we did reach that below 80% threshold. That was back on August 20th, which was last week, Thursday. So even before the stay-at-home order, we were already below the 80%, which was good. And but of course, our PCOR one started on August 16. So with that, we're seeing, and it continues to trend downward. And so we are seeing that, and I only have data up until Saturday, last week Saturday, so I don't have anything from, but even just driving to work yesterday, it was good to see that the roads were pretty clear and much less than in the past. Just so you know, the lowest we ever got in the heat of things back in March, where we were about like 50% mobility. That's
what does that mean, Doc? 50% of what?
Of 100%. So of 100% being our baseline, what we
so 100% is normal, like normal busy government or just Guam Day, people out driving.
Yes, yeah, okay. And that's historically, and that goes even before. We have the data going back to the beginning of the year, and so you normalize the mobility even before COVID. That's where the 100% is set, and Apple sets that 100%, not us.
So if the most recent data you have is from Saturday, was it? And are you able to tell where people are, like the beaches and stuff, or?
No, it doesn't tell us exactly the location. It's just for the area itself. Now, just so you know, this data is completely available to the public. All you have to do is just Google Apple and mobility and COVID, and you can see all the data for Guam there and all the parts of the world. And it will show you that, and you can download the raw data as well. So that's what I use to look at. Android has a similar feature, but they don't include Guam for whatever reason.
Wow.
In a discussion with FEMA just earlier this week, they also rely heavily on mobility data, and apparently University of Hawaii has a way of tracking it, so we're trying to get in touch with them because they may have some data from Guam. I'm not sure what's the methods for that, but we're trying to see if they can share that so that we can have another source of corroboration.
Can we move to the hospital situation, Doc? And if you could, we'll talk GMH and then maybe put on your GRMC hat and maybe talk a little bit about that, because we saw just from yesterday another increase in the hospitalizations.
Yeah, so this is obviously this is a major concern right now. I'm still waiting for the census report from this morning, but as of last night, there was about 28 patients admitted at GMH that are COVID positive, and with another GRMC that was awaiting transfer. Part of this there's two parts of this, and this is primarily, I'm paraphrasing Dr. Jolene Ogden, is that not only are we seeing the highest numbers that we've ever had, the peak that we had back in early April was 25 admitted. We've gone beyond that, but they're much sicker now than they were back then. And so that's a major concern overall. I believe there's 4 in the ICU right now. At Naval Hospital, I believe there's 3 admitted patients with COVID positive, and one of them is ICU. So the island itself is really seeing a significant uptick. Now, that being said, one of the things that can help relieve this is that there are some patients that can be discharged, but there are social factors involved here. And so, so everybody's working hard to ensure that those needs are met and that these patients can be discharged safely. And in particular, some of them will be going to the isolation facility, but we want to ensure that they have the proper equivalent of home care nursing for them.
What do you mean social issues?
Oh, like, so this is typical. This is not even necessarily a COVID related issue, that when we discharge patients who are from the inpatient standpoint, there are different things like medical equipment that they may need, like oxygen or a walker or something like that, or a hospital bed. There are all these different things that may hold up a discharge because they need to ensure that we can discharge them to a safe environment. That's par for hospital medicine.
Doc, so let me ask you, Bree and I were talking yesterday. If I'm COVID positive, I go GMH, I'm going to get discharged. Well, you guys want to send me home, but my house doesn't have a self-contained bedroom with a bathroom, doesn't meet the isolation standards. I would then have to go to the isolation government facility, right?
Yeah, so then that's when the ISO facility will be offered at that point. Now, I want to make it clear that nobody's being forced into these ISO facilities. And in fact, it's the families and the patients themselves that are requesting that because of their concern for the safety of their own family as well. And so we're seeing that. So I don't want this to be twisted into saying that don't seek care because they're going to trap you into an ISO. It's not that, and that they're going to work very closely with you. No one's going to be be locked in and forced in a way that compromises their health in particular, or the health of their family members or loved ones at home in particular.
But are we getting to that point where the isolation facility is going to be filled? And I haven't heard about a second one opening yet, where we're just sending people home because we just don't have any more room at the government isolation facility.
Yeah, so that's actually being worked on very, very actively right now, because it's a major bottleneck for us right now, in terms of it's a bottleneck that once that's open, then GMH has a better flow and turnover rate, and also for GRMC that also helps because there's a bottleneck there. Now there's this concentrating of patients, right? COVID for non-COVID and so forth. And that takes a tremendous amount of coordination to do it safely. So I don't want to undermine or undersell the importance of that. And so that's really, really important. Now so with the ISO facility, so last night after the PAG meeting, we actually stayed on. So also with the PAG meeting on Zoom, was the governor was in attendance for all of that, and then of course all the main players for public health. But we stayed on to to address specifically the ISO facility and how to get that expedited so that that's available for patients GMAs that can be discharged, but just aren't ready to fully go home yet.
So there's this active discussion on it, and I think we've been asking about it for a couple of weeks now. So when are we looking at actually securing this additional government isolation facility?
So it's already...
Is it stuck in procurement or...?
Yeah, it's going to be one of the, because remember, they've been the consolidation of the quarantine facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess flexibility for more isolation areas that we believe they're going to convert the previous quarantine facilities into some of the ISO. So I know there's contract stuff and all that, and I won't get into all that, but that's being, that's a high priority right now because of what we're seeing. And this is something that is so important because of how many lives it affects and some of the sickest people on Guam.
What can you tell us about the recent surge in cases, Doc?
One of the things is, there are a variety of opinions that are going on, and that's very fair. But one of the key things that we know, that we've seen, is that it's one of the hardest things, and the factors that we can't have good control over is the connection between non-household family members. And this is why the exercise thing is become a big issue, is because a lot of people use that and then they meet up with their extended family members, and and then and they act human and they want that interaction. But that's where a lot of the times that's where the highest risk of transmission may occur in a lot of these cases, and then they go home or what have you, and then they so that risk. So this right now, this stay-at-home order, this is us pushing the reset button. The governor pushing the reset button, I should be more specific, and that's something that has a tremendous weight, and we know that a lot of these measures worked because of what it showed in the past. We saw what actual mitigation efforts were taken back in March and April, and then we saw the effect as it lags, and it can take up to 2 weeks for us to see that those numbers change. And so we're still within that 2-week window. So the numbers may still continue to go up at least until the first week of September. And so we may be looking at that before we start seeing a downward trend. We're probably going to see a downward trend in the number of cases daily before we see, of course, the hospitalizations, because that's always the most lagging factor.
So,
is there any update on bringing in staff that's needed at the hospital?
Yeah,
Remember
sorry,
the
I just
ask
wanted to
was
update
made?
that we do have the ISO facilities, that it's days in Garden Court, and we're trying to convert the Wyndham from quarantine to isolation.
Okay.
I just want to be specific about that.
Thanks, Doc.
So we do have them now on board. The additional
yes,
ISO
we always
facilities.
did have an ISO, but
No,
the key
days
part
in,
was,
yeah.
Converting Wyndham. Yeah, and converting Wyndham was one of the key parts here. And there's some regulations that I want to ensure that they're adhering to.
Okay. What did I ask? Oh, staffing. We talked about last week about the ask being made to the federal government. We need critical care nurses for the ICU, and I mean Lillian's been talking about this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so so as my understanding is that the it starts with what's called the DLAN request that's made, and then that starts with actually GMH making that, and then it goes through the process, and then eventually becomes what's called, I believe, an MA, a medical assignment, if the DoD is the part that's going to respond to that, which is of course the aim here. Now we have to remember that no matter what happens here, even if we peak in before the end of the month and the census starts coming down, is that our people need respite. Our healthcare workers, our frontline workers really need the respite, and so many of them themselves are becoming positive, and so that's depleting the current workforce as we have it already. And so even if we start seeing, so I don't think any of this is premature in terms of requesting our help. I don't think anybody will argue with that anyway. But I think that's a key part there, and I want to ensure that even if we start seeing a delay in them coming, that it's still going to be necessary because of the rest that everyone needs, because we don't know what's going to happen if we get another flare up right after. So we want to be prepared for that. But my understanding is that I think it's at least a 30-day request. I mean, for that personnel help, and I don't have any other information on timeline.
Right on.
All right.
Okay, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah.
What are you hearing though, man? I know you are you hearing we're going to extend or?
Yeah. So the key thing here is just to understand that I think that's great. The poll that you guys are doing, because we need to get a finger on the pulse of the community in terms of what they feel, because a lot of times there are very loud mouths on the island who make a lot of noise, and we have these me protests that are more about me as opposed to being about what we can do for our community and protect each other. And I'm glad that's being reflected in your polls and what your sampling that you're doing, and I think that's an important part, and that's an important voice that we have to listen to. So I applaud that effort, and I applaud everyone's ability to speak out. So the extension, it remains to be seen, but it might be a variation of it. I personally, my opinion is that I would like to see at some point we've already, we had the reset button especially with the parks and beaches and exercise. I think that's a part that we can reconsider going back to then. And with Mayor Hoffman on earlier, one of the discussions with the PAG, it was that it's really recruiting and having a very specific system of recruiting the mayors to help in terms of the policing of compliance. And that, we don't have to necessarily go to law enforcement and go through that process. And we don't necessarily have to have a TADOC system where you report and you call the legal authorities, but maybe a specific hotline where to the mayor's office and that we report a certain activity and then let them handle it from there.
Right
so that's maybe something that's more conducive. They know their constituents the best and can communicate the best with them. And so not everything has to have a law enforcement angle to it. And this is one that I think really is appropriate for that. But it has to be a good system and a formalized system. And they need the support to do that as well. That we can't just tell them, now it's on you. That we really need to support them. I know we got to go, but I just want to make one last point. And that's the importance of that's, I think, being really undersold here is that I know we talk about washing our hands, wearing our masks, and social distancing. I want to remind everybody how important it is to circulate, to have air recirculate when wherever you are. And so what that means is that if you're at home, open the window, let new air come in. And so, especially when there's more people in the house, if you're in the offices, give a chance for 2 points of air to flow through, and have that air exchange every, frequently. And I think that's an important part. And if you have an air con, that helps, filter some. If you have an air filter, air filtration system, then that's great too. And that's what I have it right here on in the back behind me, and that's to really help do that. And believe it or not, that can make a big difference. Dr. Fauci right now is really pushing that, and so I'm just echoing that, his words.
All right. In the words of my late grandmother, fan me, fan. So turn on the fan, open the window.
Exactly.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Right on. Hang in there.
Hey, everyone.
Yes, wash your hands and your thumbs and your feet, which are the hands of your legs. Okay. All right. Let's we'll just move over to Dr. Hoa Nguyen of the Physician Advisory Group. He's actually the chair. Doc, we're going to take a real quick break, just a couple minutes. Okay, and then we're going to come back and go right to you at 7:10. It's The Link on the Breeze 93.9.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Half a day. I'm Dr. Jana Manglonia, Medical Director for Public Health. We all play a role in slowing the spread of COVID-19. We must continue to stay strong and practice everyday preventive actions to keep our island safe. Maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and others. Wear cloth face coverings in public settings. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Clean and disinfect frequently used surfaces. Avoid touching your face. Stay home if you're sick. Let's protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or check out our website at dphss.guam.gov.
to my girl. Oh, love, 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 love. The love that I've been waiting for, darling. Lord of mercy. See, even if you're lonely, I'll be, girl. Will I be waiting at your door, darling? 'Cause there is something that I have to say now. What that thing, oh girl. But forever will not.
You know, I like to think I know a lot about local music, but if you guys know anything about this band, Dedicated Minds, this is like one of the tracks. I think we got this. I came here in 2004, maybe. I think I got it in 04. All I know is that the guy who's drumming is a Chamorro guy, and he worked in the drum store. I don't know who the guy is. It's great. It's Dedicated Minds. It's called Love Love. 716 local music. That's all you're going to get here on the link. It's The Breeze 93.9, where we're just moving right along. Biba Metkulis, FHB.com. That's First Hawaiian Bank. They're proud to sponsor the show. They're closed, though. Calvo Enterprises, IT&E.
ATMs are open.
ATMs are wide open. All right, bring your wipes. 716. Let's get the chairman of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group, Dr. Hoa Wen. Doc, is that you with your Facebook up, or because we're getting a little feedback?
No. It's me.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me close the door because I'm still at home.
Right on.
Okay.
Wow.
I was going to say, it looks different.
Yeah. Doc, so we had the meeting last night, the PAG meeting, and we kind of went over, some specifics with Dr. Cabrera, but I know you had said it was a productive meeting and the governor was in attendance, so I guess what can you tell us about what happened in that meeting last night?
It's all about what they're trying to do is for us to move forward and because right now the situation we are in is not good. We really need to have a very clear communication between the public health, the physician advisory group, and the business advisory group to kind of make the decision to move forward. Because decision the past week or so, I think sometimes it's not clear to communicate within the three group, and that create a lot of chaos. But I appreciate the governor who was there last night, and I think that we all learned that we need to really talk to each other, so that way decision make in next weeks or months it be better served. So that way, if the public asks the member of the PAC, the physician advisory group, that we can know how to kind of answer the guideline, the question on the guideline. So again, I told Patty, I said it's not that video from Post is not to mean to harp on anyone. I mean that's the
right. And just let me jump in, Doc.
The way it goes.
For those of you guys just joining us, we had Dr. Wen on the show last week, and he had told us again that the Physicians Advisory Group was advising for individual exercise at parks and beaches to be allowed, right? And then it ended up not being allowed. So that was not the recommendation the doctors made. Of course, the doctors want you to be healthy, right? And it helps, Doc.
Yes.
I was doing this like sledgehammer banging on the tire thing yesterday. That was like, I was just seeing COVID-19's face, and I was like, you suck, you stupid. So yeah, people got to exercise.
Yeah, it's we talked about that last night because I say when all the people need to exercise, right? So I mean, that's something that she will reconsider again, with the condition that people really abide the rule that you go out to the beach and the park to exercise, and not to have picnic and have gathering out there in the beach, because exercise is good, and she agree, and she will reconsider that, but she's gonna need the help of everyone in Guam to abide by the rule that you go out there for fresh air, for exercise, and not to bring your family out there for picnic and things like that. That's not a good thing to do, especially we are in the surge of this virus right now. So as Dr. Cabrera say, we are in the surge. Hospital somewhat maxed out capacity. We have 28 people in the hospital, and and the case is still going up, and we will see that hopefully with the PICO-1 people staying home, and the mobility data show that people are beginning to stay home. So we should see a downward curve of the virus in the next week or 2 weeks or so, because it's lag behind on how much people move. So hopefully we get better and we can get out this PICO-1.
Doc,
yes.
Friday, it's supposed to end, but it's not going to end, is it? The lockdown, the PICO-1?
Yeah. She had to make the decision, but right now, if we're going to go with the 4 guidelines, the 2 of them, the biggest part is we have met is hospitalization is really is over capacity at this point and to handle the COVID patient, and our numbers still go up every day. So it's hopefully by next week you see a downward curve of the positive case. We all keep our finger crossed. Again, we need the people to abide by that. And Christopher, this is what, as a practice physician, seen every day. And I tell you, it's not different with any other clinic. Is that the same story? No, you hear the same story every day. Every patient come in is that I went over to my sister's house and one of my cousin's house, have dinner, and then a week later I got a phone call that my cousin, my sister is positive. Now the whole family is positive. So that story is repeat daily multiple times. So that's why it's very important for us. We have, this is Guam, we have a lot of extended family at this point. But I would ask everybody, extended family, if you don't live in the same house that you are living, try to FaceTime or WhatsApp or something for about a week or 2, so we can get over this cycle here. But if we keep hearing that we go to dinner at a relative house, man, we never go get out this hole. So we really need everyone to stay home and stay within your household for the next week or 2 and help everybody, the governor, the PAC, and the TAC, everybody, so we can go through this. And we are getting tired, really getting tired. And the healthcare system, I tell you, if the infection rate on the healthcare system, on the healthcare worker going up, we are going to be in more trouble than we are at this point. So we need to help each other doing this thing.
Right. Doc, I just wanted to go over this. This is the triggers to inform, to make informed decisions to move from PICOR-1 to PICOR-2. And so these are the 4 that were released way back when. So just to go over them.
4 guidelines.
Yeah. So cases, downward trend of confirmed cases and a downward trend of positive tests. We're not going to, that's a no, right?
We're not going to meet that one.
Yeah. Hospitalization.
And the hospitalization, we're going to meet that one.
Testing.
Testing, as of last night, since we have actually, we have now a consensus within all the lab, GRMC, public health, and diagnostic lab. So we have more ability now. I wish that's done before, and so we can combine the 3 of them. We can do probably 500-600 tests a day. That's what it should be combined in the past. So I think the testing would be okay. It's just the first 2. We are not okay in the first 2. Mm-hmm. The tracing and the contact, PAC feel like we're still behind.
Yeah,
so
Doc, let me just share our personal experiences. We had a positive here on our news team, Adriana Cotero. That was on, Bree, what date was that?
That was
the 13th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 13th. So yesterday, was that yesterday or
Monday?
Monday, we got the call from public health.
Right, because they were waiting for the numbers, and a part of that was, me trying to get the entire list of everybody's numbers.
Right.
And giving it to public health. but you know, majority of us had been tested and we had the results, and so I
Right.
just kind of like forwarded everything to them on that Friday. So they
Yeah.
called on Monday. So
right.
you know.
Yeah.
But
So-
again, just going back to the triggers, so 3 out of 4 cases, no; hospitalization, no; and contact tracing, we're not meeting them. But
Yes.
testing, you had a meeting last night, and it looks like we're going to be okay because now we have the ability, since we're combining everything, to run at least 600 tests.
1 out of
Yes.
4. That's not good. That's a F, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first 2, guys, is easy. If we follow
Stay
the rule
home?
again, that's the whole thing. Yes. And the first 2 is beatable, but we need everybody. So, Chris, you gotta yell out, "Stay home!" Really
Stay
loud.
home!
That's the only thing people want to listen to, and so
We
you
need to
gotta
get all the
let them stay
doctors to
home.
do this and put together a PSA,
Or
just
we just
yelling
all
it out.
Yell it out. You know what I mean? It feels good.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
like,
it's
yeah,
hard
okay.
to if we cannot police everything, and just like Dr. Caprera say, you know, we're going to elicit the mayor council in helping to enforce the monitoring of the people in their village to make sure that, you know, they don't get together on a party. We still hear there's barbecue in the backyard with quite a few people all the time. So we need the mayor to help, and I think public health will establish a hotline that people can call in and report certain activity, because we need all eyes on it to make sure that we get through this as soon as possible.
Yeah. So what was the
So
what was the what else was discussed last night during the PAG meeting?
the biggest part is the decision will be made by communicate through, again, public health, the physician advisor group and the business group, and so that have to be done to make sure that we make the right decision. So but I said that's the biggest part of the talk last night, and so and how to identify if where the true resource is. The true source, guy, I tell you, is that the passenger come off island, that come back to the island, and we have the home quarantine that we don't have any data to make sure people truly stay home before they're testing out on day number 7, and we have quite a few that positive on testing out day 7, and unfortunately those people walk around our community and spread the virus. That's number 1. So the governor closed that loophole by implement the quarantine mandatory for everyone come in. So that loophole is fixed, but we need to come up with a better system to monitor people on home quarantine as we go forward. So that's something that we talked last night, and they have to come up with the new system to track people somehow. And the other one right now is the current situation is the spread within the extended family.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to ask the mayor council to help on this one in monitoring this and cut down the spread within the extended family. So those are take long discussion on those things, and we will meet with the mayor council sometime this week to make sure that they can ask for their help. I think all the mayor are really willing to help, so it's really helpful to have them on board.
All right. Okay.
Thanks, Doc.
Anything else?
Okay, but
are you sure there's
Anything
nothing
else?
you want to tell us that
You look like you really want to say something.
Yeah, just let it out, Doc. Come on, it's cool. We're here in the link. It's all right.
Just really, guys, really stay home. We really need to, I'm telling you, I'm the only thing I can tell you is that you cannot blame anyone for making a decision, especially the governor, if nobody listen and abide by the rule. We all, every one of us on this whole island, are responsible for our action and need to abide by what she asked, so that way we can get out of this thing as soon as possible. So please, no, try to not go to the extended family gathering because we have to stop this virus at this point. Give it 2-3 weeks and we can get back on it and everyone can be safe again. So please stay home and they don't live in your house. Don't go visit them because you don't know who's that person, where that person been. So just stay home for now. Okay?
Thank you, Doc.
And that's all I want to say. Again, that post video yesterday is not mean to harm on anyone. It's mean to let people know, how the decision is made. And, so that way, people don't point at the physician advisory group and say that's your decision. It's not. It's just make it clear, and it's not hard on public health, not hard on the governor. It's just make it so people understand decision make in step.
Right.
But the final decision is always the governor. And like I say, on this case, guys, on the current data, no one can tell that she's wrong, right? Because you can see the rate go up.
Yeah.
So whatever decision she make, whatever her thought that she have, she's correct at this point. So we just have to go forward, listen to her, and get out this Pico one. Okay?
Thank
so
you, Doc.
stay home.
Yeah, stay home. Say it mean.
Okay.
Use your military voice. Come on.
Okay, stay home, okay? That's the message, okay?
All right.
Okay.
That'll do.
Bye, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
Doc.
Take care.
7:31. We take a really quick break, and we'll go to Dr. Manglotnia of Public Health. She's the medical director, and she's next on the link of the Zoom. Maria Pangilinan is also standing by. Hi, Miss Maria. I see you there. Sorry, we're just trying to bang out the doctors. Okay, she's thumbs up. Right on. So 7:31 again. This is the link on the Breeze 93.9.
GU Self Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
If you plan on leaving your house, don't forget your face mask. Along with hand washing and social distancing, wearing face masks can drastically reduce your risk of infection. Many people who catch COVID-19 can be contagious before they even start showing symptoms. The more people who use face masks, the less the virus can be transmitted and fewer individuals are exposed. When we both wear face masks, I protect you, you protect me, and we are both safe.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6. Good morning. A little candlelight, a slow dance. Yeah, DUV.
Maybe we can try again.
Let's try again. Let's make this lockdown count, guys. 7:34. It's the link on the Breeze 93.9. Let's get Dr. Jana Manglotnia, Public Health Medical Director on the KUAM News Zoom room. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. How are you all?
We're hanging in there. You know, it is what it is.
Right.
The best way to put it.
I think It's the first time you mean it. I'm hanging in there. We used to say it to be funny. Now we're not.
Yeah, so literally, right? And we'll just get right into it, Doc. I know your time is valuable. We got a lot of comments from people who got tested at the various mass community testings last weekend, and they're blowing up the feed saying they're waiting for the results. They haven't heard anything. So if we could just start with the status on the backlog of tests from the community mass testing that have yet to be run by public health.
I don't have the numbers. That's Annette Uggan takes care of the numbers of it. But I do know that they're working every day to get the backlog down, get the tests run, get the patients called. And I believe the individual clinics are responsible. For example, if you had it done at AMC or FHP, wherever you had it done, I believe the individual clinics are doing the calling. And they're doing that to help out. There were a lot done that day, and the manpower to call everyone is quite extensive. But they are getting caught up. But then we have a daily limit, and you have to know, too, that we have about 7 clinics feeding into the lab every day. So even if you run 200 or 300, you have 200 or 300 more coming in. So they're doing their best to try to get more tested, so that we can get more of the tests run, so that we can get that backlog down.
Do you know, Doc, maybe just an estimate, how many of the tests, like, for example, we ran a bunch of tests yesterday, how many were from current testing through close contacts or contact tracing, and how many were from the mass testing conducted last weekend?
That's a net question. Okay. I don't have those numbers. I could get those, but I don't have those for you now, and I can text them to you later. But fine. That's where Nettie comes in. She's the number cruncher in the lab.
Right.
Doc, I just want to ask, with the surge, all the craziness that's been happening, what is your priority number one right about now?
I think because there's a fire burning, priority number one is put the fire out. And then we can sort things out after that. That's the number one priority because it's brand new, acute. We've got to stop it now. And that's why the governor did what she did. We can sort out in the meantime, but stop it. And it's out of control because the people were out of control. No matter what we've done, ultimately, it's the front line, which is the community. It was up to them to fight the war. And how do you think, kick it around, how do you think they did? Doesn't look too good.
Yeah.
But there's nothing more we can do. What you're seeing now, thank your community for it. We didn't do this. And we've done everything we can to equip our hospitals and equip our clinics and equip our providers. And public service announcement. Finally, enough already. Do what you know you need to do. And if you don't do it, you're going to have exactly what you've got right now. I mean, congratulations. If this is what your goal was while you're preaching about constitutional rights, to me, it does just quit killing people, quit making them sick. Then we can talk about constitutional rights. That is so far in second place. Number one, we're trying to survive this and trying to put the fire out. And we didn't do this. And we can't clean up every mess made by the front line. So, it's up to the community. If this is what they want, that's what they're getting. And still yet, we see pictures sent every day of people that aren't doing what they should be doing. And, I was just looking at the numbers. Brita, you know how many people, we have almost 1,000. And I was looking at the recent JIC release, and do you know how many of those were in the under 60 age group? I mean, when we first started, we said, wow, the elderly are at risk, the people with comorbidities, and they are. But apparently that group is doing their job. But do you have any idea how many of those were under 60? Just a wild guess?
Probably none. Oh, under 60. No, under 60. A lot of them.
Under 60. I'm looking at the numbers off the JIC. It looks like out of, let's just say 1,000, about 850 are under age 60. About 500, 20 years of age to 40 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think people realize that. And that's the group committing the sins. But that's the group right there.
Yeah.
So, and how old was the one that just died in the hospital? 33?
34.
34? Yeah. So, you know, we started saying, you know, do what you need to do to protect your family, protect your relatives. I'll tell you what, you better do it to protect yourself, because the ones out there committing the infractions are the ones that's getting it and dying. The old people are staying home. And we have a really close friend, and he is staying home. His wife is staying home. They're elderly. They have a lot of medical issues. And sadly enough, the kids brought it in on them. And so, you know, our friend was infected because of the kids coming in. So if you're going to do it, don't leave everyone else alone. If you want to go out and do this and bring it in, don't involve anyone else in your plan, because they may not survive this. But this is frontline data right here. This is what you get when the breaches occur. And where will this stop? Depends on the front line. Ask them. We've done all we can do. We're just sitting here and watching this now. And it's like you let your kids play, then you see what they start doing. You have to ground them for a while. Well, the kids are allowed out there, and we're supposed to be responsible. When you see they're not, then they get grounded for a while. It's just simple. We have to clean up the mess. We have to put the fire out, and then everyone gets mad going, oh, we're grounded? Really? Well, do what you're supposed to do, and we all move on. And I just can't preach that enough.
See you guys.
And we're getting pretty tired and pretty fed up, working 24 hours a day, trying to clean up these messes. And then people looking at us saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You did this. We didn't do this. You did this. So, you know, that's the message. And you're going to get whatever you invest. If you don't wear your mask, socially distance, and do what you're supposed to do, this is what you get. So, and we just watch numbers every day. So, and our front lines are taking hits. Everyone's tired. You know, we've got a lot of frontliners still down, more getting infected.
Right.
And, you know, it's I don't know. I'll stop there, but I think my message and Dr. Nguyen's message is pretty clear. Are y'all there?
Yeah. Like, I mean, you guys done pissed off Dr. Manglotnia.
Exactly.
You know, the last
Mama Manglotnia is mad.
Educate that more.
And she's right. These more than 40 of the new cases yesterday are in this young adult group.
Let's see here.
20 to 39 years old.
Yeah, and Doc, you know what I think is interesting is last night this number breakdown was going around on WhatsApp. I was getting it and I sent it to everybody, especially everybody I knew who's in that age bracket. So people are keying in on the numbers and the infections by age group. So I think that's
right.
I mean, it's important that people are paying attention to that.
Yeah, it seems like it's been quite a shift. When we first started, it was the elderly that was the target group. Mm-hmm. Now we're seeing it's younger and younger, not just here, but in the States too. And that's the group that's by and large the ones that are breaching the protocols. And I think they feel, we've all been there. We felt like we were so young and invincible, but I tell you what, COVID wasn't there then. You're not young. You're not invincible. COVID has no respect for who you think you are. You better believe that.
Doc, let's go to the comments if we could here. Emily writes, it's not just family gatherings, stories about the backlog of people tested and going around without results. Transparency and ownership, please, for the government's part in the contribution of the number of positives walking around out there without their results, and a mess of contact tracing and higher infection numbers. So basically people are saying, if we went and get tested and we're not getting the results, that's kind of on you guys. So how would you respond to that?
The test results are you're wearing the mask and going out and not socially distancing on you. So if you've got it and you're spreading it, that means you're breaching it. So if you think you have it or you think you're at risk for having it and you went and had a test, shut down till you get your test results. There so many people showed up. I mean, the numbers exceeded the capacity of daily running, but the onus is upon you. If you think you have it or may have it or been exposed, shut down. And if you do go out, God help you, but wear a mask and stay 20 feet away from people. I mean, the number doesn't change the situation, or the result doesn't change the situation. Whether you're positive or negative, do what you think you know you need to do right now while you're waiting on your results. And if you get a negative, go, wow, that's great. If it's positive, you say, thank God I did what I was told to do. Be responsible. I mean, so what's the result? You got the test because you thought you had it. Stop doing what you're doing, and you won't spread it. And then be happy if you get a negative, then you can carry on a little bit more, although you still have to go out and socially distance, wash your hands, and wear your mask, even if it's negative, because negative is only good that minute. The next day it could be as positive as the next person.
Right.
That's not a positive. You're pretty well done. You've got it. And we thought you might be protected for a few months. I noticed yesterday in the news, there was a case that got a second infection because the virus has, I guess, mutated because the genome was a little bit different. And a patient did get infected, not here. It was somewhere else.
Yeah, it was Hong Kong.
So, so now that's not good news to know that people can be reinfected with another strain. And that's going to likely impact vaccine making, because if you're gearing it to type A and then type B pops up, you have to shift. And maybe the procedure can make that transition easily, maybe it can't. So if we're waiting on a vaccine, which we all are, we may have some nuances there as well, some bumps in the road with the vaccine production. But basically, if you just do what you need to do, you're at so much less of a risk. And yes, we're working on getting the positive and negatives, but till you hear that, till the bell rings, clamp down, do what you're supposed to do, and you won't have to worry if it's positive.
Doc, it kind of sounds like lockdown's going to be extended. I mean, if you're coming this way,
it kind of sounds like to me that that the spread is going to be extended. The lockdown follows the spread. If you spread it, we lock down. We don't lock down, and that it's in a reaction to what the community is doing. If the community is surging, we lock down. So my question is, how long do you all plan to keep breaching it? If you keep breaching it and the numbers surging, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think we're just going to pull the plug and say, ollie, ollie, in free, go ahead and spread it and let's see how many we can get infected? It's not like that. We hope it's not like that. We are hoping that we can put your fire out. And I say your, meaning the community, us too. I mean, we all take risk.
Yeah.
And a big thing too is, this is where a lot of people get it too. You feel comfortable in your home with your family. And there might just be two people there, one person there. That one person can spread it. Even though you followed the guidelines, you did what you're supposed to do, but you take your mask off to eat your dinner. So I would just invite you to just FaceTime people right now. You don't mingle, because you're at the mercy of whatever air they breathe when they walk in your door. So you hope they don't have it. And if there's a chance and you want them for dinner, make them sit at the end of the table as you eat when the masks are off. Right now, we've got a lot in the hospital, and we've got some still pouring in through the ER, and our hospitalization rate is high. We're just maxing out everything. And I think it's reality check time. And I think it's time that everyone trench in, lock down, and just stop. I hate to be on a soapbox like this, but
nah, go for it,
the
Doc.
numbers are scary. They're really scary. Where will this end? 70 or 80 a day? Really? That's not people doing what they're supposed to, and that's not the old timers. The old timers are sticking at home. They're not out playing bingo. They're staying at home by and large. So The numbers are surging. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, so that's it. It's the people of Guam's fault. The government has done all it can do. There's nothing more the government can do. It's just up to everybody out here. We're on our own.
No, yeah.
As far as the surge goes, we're all at the mercy of what's going on the front line. We sit and watch it. You know, we can't control it. We try. You see gatherings, though. People bring in pictures and send them to us. We see what's going on. And all of us are at the mercy of the few. So if this is what you want, you're doing a fine job. But there's going to come a point where the governor isn't going to be able to clean up the mess as easily as you think. And I don't think any of us want to revisit Italy and New York and Guam. So if you're not afraid to go out, and if you're not afraid to spread it, then you haven't gotten the message. You don't get it. So, and you know, we talk about the death rate. It's not like the people just heal up and march on. So many are left with devastating disability for weeks to months. How much longer, we don't know, because it's new. But I've read stories where people say, I'll never run again. I can't even walk across the room without being short of breath because of permanent lung damage. Some of it is measurable and some of it is permanent. Some of it may resolve with time, like fatigue. We don't know. We don't know. It's too new. But it's not a roll of the dice that you want to take, because we can't tell you what to expect. No one knows. People in China do. They've researched this for years, right on the street, apparently, where this virus was unleashed. Of course, the lab was down the street, but we're to believe it was a monkey or a bat or something. Okay, got it. But they probably have a lot of information and long-term studies that we have no access to because of their political system. But we're watching it play out. If it goes unchecked, this is what happens. So what can be done? We gear up. We try to put the fires out that the front line's causing us. You know, the general came in and tried to clean up the mess and put everyone on lockdown. And then the masses cried, oh, no, you can't do this, really? So we just let you go rogue and kill everyone? I don't think so.
Doc.
Well, she had to do what she had to do.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we're up against the top of the hour, but I want to give you the floor, even though I kind of know what you're going to say. What's your advice to the governor?
My advice, both things. We'll do what we can to put the fires out. And are we still able? Yes, we have a shot at it. We do have a shot. We're gearing up our manpower, gearing up our testing capacity. We are trying to mobilize all the forces we can to clean this mess up. In the meantime, everything has to stop. It has to be shut down because just like with tests, you know, if we do 200 a day and 200 roll in, you don't make a lot of progress. So we're gearing up, trying to do more tests and trying to recruit other partners to help us, and that's working. But we've got to stop the influx. That's why the lid had to be put down. To clean it up, we've got to stop it and then sort of reset, like you reboot your computer and start over, and this time do it right. We've got to do what we did when we first were hit with this, and we did a spectacular job, but everyone let their guard down. Everyone did. And now I have to tell everyone to please follow the protocol. Don't do mass gatherings. Don't have parties. Wear the mask. And if it's just a family member coming in for a dinner, scoot them down at the end of the table when they're eating and put a fan on, because they may be carrying it. And we all feel comfortable. And maybe you all, when the camera's off, maybe you take your mask off. I wouldn't. One of the people I felt the most comfortable around, I always took my mask off when I was with that one person, and that one person has it. So thankfully they kept theirs on. So, it's not trust. You've just got to look at everyone as a possible source of infection for you and your family. And don't go to your elderly's homes right now. Just chill out for about 1 to 2 weeks and let's see where we are. But we're trying to clean up the mess. We're trying to put the fire out. It can be done. But this time we have to implore the front line to do their due diligence. And test results, we'll get those to you. But in the meantime, lock down. Because if it's positive, you'll be glad you did. And if it's negative, then still you need to use your precautions. Sorry to be on a soapbox this morning, but we're in a begging position right now. We need the community to do what they have to do.
Thank you, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Guys, quit playing with matches. They're trying to put out this fire.
Thank you. Thank you for your help in getting the message out. We don't do everything right and we drop balls, but we're certainly trying to stay the course as much as we can with this unknown enemy. So thank you for giving us a platform to get the message out. Chris and Bree, we really appreciate it. Jason.
Thank you, Doc. Hang in there, okay?
Yeah,
we're here for you.
Okay,
Shoot me a text. All right.
We'll do it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Take care.
Wash your hands. Yeah.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
She's the nicest person in the
Yeah,
world.
that was. She's always joking. And I feel like it's just finally getting to a lot of these frontliners, especially seeing that protest yesterday. I'm pretty sure that just made it hit way different when you have these COVID deniers out there saying, "Oh, it's just like the flu." It's just really. And I think the clapback to these protests, if you go in our comments for the Instagram, it's crazy. I mean, pretty much every comment is like, what are you guys doing? I think it really goes back to that sense of, like, we keep talking about the community. Like, even if we're all the community, right? And I think that's where a lot of us who have lived here, grown here, even been born here, that's kind of our mindset as we look out for each other. And, going back to what I said about individual on Guam, I think for the most part, we don't view ourselves as individual. We view ourselves as a body, right? And so we just need to get our together. 7:56. We're going to sign off on KUAM TV 11 because I want to get Miss Maria Pangolino of the Guam Election Commission in. I think if they're trying to cancel or postpone the primary, maybe just send whoever is going to make the decisions a copy of Dr. Maglonia's interview. Okay. So we're KUAM FM in Agotnia, Guam. Again, this is the link on the breeze, 93.9 at 7:57. Thank you so much on KUAM TV 11. We'll see you on the Facebook Live stream. Good morning, Guam.
For summer DIY projects.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Half a day. I'm Dr. Jana Manglonia, Medical Director for Public Health. We all play a role in slowing the spread of COVID-19. We must continue to stay strong and practice everyday preventive actions to keep our island safe. Maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and others. Wear cloth face coverings in public settings. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Clean and disinfect frequently used surfaces. Avoid touching your face. Stay home if you're sick. Let's protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or check out our website at dphss.guam.gov.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
When the world feels stuck at home, there are people who would love nothing more than to have a home. Disasters don't stop during a pandemic. Together, we continue to give help and hope to those in need. Help now at redcross.org.
All right, good morning. Hey, 801. Shout out to Zero Down.
I wanna ride in my Guam bombs, rolling around, rolling up from the going back to the road.
We have just heard that the governor has reportedly said that she's going to allow for the individual beach and park exercise. And so we put out the ask to the gov. Always welcome on the show. 802, it's KUAM FM in Agutni, Guam. Let's go to the KUAM News Zoom room and talk election with Miss Maria Pangilinan from the Guam Election Commission. Miss Maria.
Hi. Half a day, Chris and Sabrina.
Good morning.
You at work? You at home?
I'm at work.
Right.
I've been at work.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Miss Maria, as it stands right now at 8:02 Wednesday morning, we're still having a primary election on Saturday, right?
That's correct, and that's how Guam Election Commission is operating.
You still having your test run tomorrow?
No, that is tentatively on hold. We're awaiting word from our site support person from the our election vendor. He's still trying to get his test so he can be waived the quarantine. As soon as that happens, we'll put the schedule for the test election back on.
But do you need to have the test election before Saturday? It's Wednesday.
No, we can do it as late as Saturday, sometime before 8 o'clock. So we hope to do it. We hope to do it Saturday morning, if anything.
I was looking at the letter, and it was mentioning there were a couple of key points that needed to be met, right? And one of them was printing, I think, of signature rosters, and it was supposed to be done by Monday.
So our voter registry our clean voter registry needed to go to the vendor by Monday morning. That happened. So that got checked off, and we've done that. We also have other things to tick, lots of other things to tick off, and we did get the box truck, and kudos to the Department of Education. They've stepped up to the plate, and they are receiving the voting booths. We started delivering yesterday. We'll continue and hopefully finish by today. Everything has been put together in, small doses of time where we normally deliver voting booths 3-4 days. Now it's only 2 days. There are still a lot of things to check off, and we're working on it as we speak.
Boy. But you're still hoping that this thing will be either postponed or canceled.
Listening to the doctors, what can we say? And here we try. When I came on our Zoom meeting here, I was by myself with my mask on, listening to the doctors. We're good listeners, and here at GEC, you have to be good at following directions.
Mm-hmm. There was an issue that was raised by Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano about she's requesting the AG's opinion because there's about 2,200 ballots votes that have already been cast for the primary, correct?
Not true, Sabrina. May I stop you there?
Sure,
Not
stop me.
True.
How many?
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, those votes have not been cast.
Technically,
votes
right.
are cast only at the precinct, and those votes will be cast at the precinct on election day. You ever notice that when you're at the precinct officials, when they're doing their job, will pull out envelopes. Those are affidavit envelopes. They will take that affidavit envelope to the signature roster. The person at the signature roster will call Chris Barnett, voted absentee. That's when the process of casting that ballot begins.
So for people that participated in this absentee voting over at the GEC office, how many people participated? And that's not counted as a ballot cast?
How many people have gone to vote?
2,000, over 2,000, 2,284.
Right.
So what happens to these votes if we postpone or cancel the primary?
Right.
Well, so just like every other election, those ballots are kept in the vote. They are right now in the vote. Yesterday, we finished organizing them by precinct. They will stay there until such time that decisions are made. When decisions are made for other elections, all the other ballots, they're sealed. They were sealed by the precinct officials, and then we resealed them after tabulation. So those affidavit envelopes were sealed by those voters, and they will stay sealed either until they get to the precinct, or they will stay sealed in the vault.
Right. Miss Maria, what are you hearing though? Because we got a comment here. Great to know, sarcasm, that by Saturday the virus will be under control. Why is it taking so long to make a decision? I feel for the GEC.
Well,
And what's your oversight saying? First of all, are you hearing anything at all? Because it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. The election's on Saturday.
So we're here chugging along. Our commissioners are checking on us. We received a letter. We received requests for information from the legislature. And only in the newspaper are we seeing that, and the rest of the media, that Thursday, 11 o'clock is the emergency session. And only in the newspaper is it saying that they may call the Guam Election Commission to the committee as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Not today, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Not yesterday, tomorrow. Right. So when you say you're chugging along, Miss Maria, are you really gunning it, or do you have one foot on the brake because you're thinking that this whole thing's going to be... Because, I mean, outside looking in, how is it not going to be postponed or even canceled? I mean, how? There's just, so how...
Because we're probably going to go back stay in PCOR 1 for another 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
So, so with the influx of in-office absentee voters, lots of the preparation for election day were in the back burner at that time. We wanted to make sure we knew how and we served the voters that came through our doors the right way. So Friday morning, when we suspended absentee voting Thursday night. Friday morning, the guns, the young guns here were running, making sure that we check mark everything on the timeline that says, oops, we didn't do that yet. So we continue to do that, checking off all the different activities that need to happen before the election. Voting booths. Chris, with your question, I'll tell you. So we tried to work in the unknowns, and so when we delivered the signature, when we delivered the voter registry to the vendor, I said, "When is the latest you can print?" And they said, "Oops, now." So I said, "Okay." I have to make the decision. I said, go ahead and print. With the voting booths, those things, the voting booths are delivered to the schools, to all the polling sites. Right before primary, the schools are good enough so that they have storage for us. They keep them until the general. So tasks like that, we go and we get it done. Other tasks, we're waiting and seeing, okay, when's the latest we can do that? And that's how we've been operating here.
Do you have enough people? I mean, if we were to have this primary Saturday or even 2 weeks from now, based on the day that you were hoping to extend it, the 12th, do you have people that are actually still willing to work these polling sites?
That was one of our concerns. Before our emergency GEC commission meeting on Friday, we had 15 people already saying they're not able to make it. On Monday, we sent another confirmation notice to our precinct officials. So that we've done, and some people are dropping out. We're able to pull from those that have been trained, and we continue to do that. We just started contacting our additional election workers, our screeners, and our curbside assistants. We need about 150 of them. We're very slowly getting confirmation that they will be able to come into work. So we're getting there. As far as the 14 of us, we're still here. We were able to pick up our 3 temporaries, and we have 9 that are supposed to be working the in-office absentee voting. They continue to help us to prepare for the election.
Are they going to be getting the hazard pay?
Yes, we continue to get it because we continue to deal with the public.
Yeah.
But our rate, our rate is lower than the frontliners, and we're glad the frontliners are getting it.
Right.
All right, well.
Man, hang in there, Miss Maria. Yeah, leche, bro. It's like what? It's election time, guys.
Yeah, but who's going to want to, number one, go out and vote?
Right.
Number 2, like you said, who's going to want to work these polling sites?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's election time. Why are they ignoring you?
Oh,
they're doing the political distancing.
I mean, the legislature, they got 3 positives.
Right. Yeah.
It's catch-22.
It's a tough one. Yeah. What is that, man? It is what it is. At first, it was a joke, right? But that is the COVID is a bitch catchphrase. It is what it is because it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, God, how dumb are we getting that's our mantra? Miss Maria, we're praying for you guys. I guess we'll watch that session tomorrow.
Thank you.
No. Did your family ever say, what are you doing?
Yeah. How close are you to
Why
calling
are you
up?
going into work? What is the point? I mean,
did you hear Dr.
Did they
Maglonia?
tell you that?
Yeah, are you like waiting to? I feel like you're just a phone. You just want to call Adeloop, call Living. What are you guys doing over there? Song in them. Come on.
Mm-hmm. So, everybody needs to do their part. We are. When I step out of my office, I cannot say too loudly that we've been working long hours, because I'm sure there are other people that are working long hours. And what was really encouraging for me is I sent out an email to our Department of Education partners. And what happens is they're answering me at all hours of the night. And then I get some this morning, and it's just really nice that across the island, the Guam Election Commission partners are coming through.
Right on, Miss Maria.
all right. How do you decompress?
Happy hours.
So I haven't had a chance, because when I get home, it's straight to bed.
Right.
But normally I would, if I got home early enough, I'd turn on a Hallmark movie. It's always pretty.
Channel 227.
I don't know. I feel like if I watch a Hallmark movie, I'm going to cry like a little.
Hey, I do that too.
I know. I feel like I'm in a Hallmark movie. Thank you.
No, this is like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, for a guy, a Hallmark movie is.
Oh, okay.
Miss Maria, thank you so much. Hang in there, okay?
We will. Seduce Masi.
All right,
Right on. Okay, there you go.
That's
man.
funny, Chris.
What?
Hallmark movies.
I mean, how do you guys get into that? You could figure I got the whole Hallmark movie figured out in the first 5 minutes. She's going to go with him, and then she's going to be like, why did I go with this douche?
TV,
Let me just go back to this guy. And it's like, hello, the nice guy's right there.
Wait, that's what your definition of those are those Hallmark movies? You mean like the sappy romance? I always thought Hallmark movie was a one woman's gripping drama against.
That's Lifetime. Basically, yeah. Hallmark is the new
Featuring
Lifetime
Lindsay
movie.
Wagner and Meredith Baxter Burney from Family Ties.
That's Jason Salas, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm the one who doesn't get out that much. How do I not know this stuff?
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we have Superintendent John Fernandez of the Guam Department of Education coming up. We'll see. The discussion this morning, I feel like the people we've been talking to, they're up to here already. You know how your mom used to say, my mom used to always, and my grandma, it's like I was just always on the last nerve. They never said, hey, you're on the first nerve, heads up, you're about to get your ass whooped. It was like I was always on the last nerve. Well, with the people we're talking to, you guys went past the last nerve, so they're very frustrated. And we'll find out how Superintendent John Ford, he's smiling right now. He's like, yeah. So it is what it is. So we'll be right back with more of The Link on the Breeze. 93.9, good morning.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Hafaday and Mabuhay, I'm Ann Pobutsky. I'm the territorial epidemiologist for Guam. Wearing a face covering protects you and those around you. We know that COVID-19 can be spread by people who are not showing symptoms, which means they are asymptomatic. Because Guam remains at risk for significant community spread or transmission of the virus, it is a necessary precaution to wear a face covering when you are in public. Everyone must wear a face covering when they leave home, have it visible at all times, and put it on when they see others nearby. Face coverings are required for everyone when shopping at stores, seeking healthcare, and inside the workplace. Covering your face reduces the chance that you will unknowingly infect someone else if you are carrying COVID-19 but have no symptoms. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or visit our website at dphss.guam.gov.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast, with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
Half a day. My name is Kathleen Fernandez, and I'm a registered nurse at the Department of Public Health and Social Services. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends wearing cloth face coverings in public settings. Don't let your guard down. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or check out our website at dphss.guam.gov.
Mayo from the place that I call, but she's calling my name. Yeah, she's calling my name. Mayo from her beautiful blue seas, but I'm playing the game, trying to get to this fame. Oh, oh. Got to think hard before I make decisions. Think about what I've earned and what's given. Think about my future and my love. Play some ball, mess around and switch it up. Mix some C's with some B's and make a buck. Too many trees, they be starting to hurt my lungs. In the box doing nothing that they flown. What the hell am I doing? I got to run now. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I got some hearts to fill.
Yeah, good morning, guys. 8:23 on the Link of the Breeze, 93.9, where we just really try our best to get you all the people who are making decisions, who are advising people on decisions. We get the Physicians Advisory Group on all the time. We get Superintendent John Fernandez on all the time. Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio has his standing Tuesday appointment. And we routinely invite the governor of Guam onto the show. And it's been a little bit of a struggle. I mean, we're able to catch up with her, post-COVID. But again, I just feel like as our governor, when we've got these massive conversations going on, that she has a responsibility to check in with the people. And playing favorites it's not really the time for it. And I mean, we're going to keep inviting her on because we have the biggest audience. We have the most viewers. And we continuously offer this platform to the governor, to the superintendent, to the doctors, to public health, to the senators, to you, the people of Guam. Because the way we look at it, this platform is a meeting point for an exchange of very valuable information during this pandemic. Yeah, and so we heard reportedly the governor made some announcements to the PCOR 1 lockdown status this morning. We'll get you more on that coming up. But again, just and I know the ghost people are listening. We don't want her on every day, but I just feel like if there's information that she's going to put out as the governor of Guam, then step up and be the governor and give that information to all the people who are out here listening. Don't announce it on, one media and then leave the people of Guam holding the bag. Because in this pandemic, information in a lot of ways is the only vaccine that we have. Our people need to know what is going on. And I just feel like if you want people to know what's going on, you go where the people are at. You go where the people are at, and the people are right here. So that being said, I'm not trying to toot our own horn. I'm not, but we've built this KUAM news organization over decades because we give the information out to the people. We don't have a Ray Gibson agenda. We don't have any kind of crazy agenda. We're just trying to get the information out to the people.
Reality check.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of disappointed. We don't have press conferences as often as we do, and we can go back and we talk about the reopening and if it's rushed and why are we sitting in this current situation. But I just think that if people are starving for information, especially if you're the governor, you know what I mean? Especially if you're the governor, you have a responsibility to share that information with as many people as you can. And if you want to play favorites and call the show that's nice to you, we can be nice too. But if that is what you're going to do, then give the information to your staff, right? So if you don't want to give KUAM the time of day, okay, that's fine. But give Crystal Paco San Augustine the same information that you announce on other media so that we can all get it and get it out to the people. Because trying to sabotage us by only giving certain information to certain media, it's not sabotaging us. It's not. How many feet do you have? Because you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot like that. 827. That being said, let's go with someone who has no problem coming on the link routinely, weekly, in fact. Wednesdays, our standing appointment with Superintendent John Fernandez. Let me just give a little room to breathe, John, because I don't want it to turn into, he came on right after Chris chewed out the governor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning. I was actually still thinking about the Hallmark television discussion you were having. So that was keeping me entertained.
Right. So
you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like big city. Guy, girl goes to the country for the holidays. This is falls in love, now has to make a big decision, and I think that's pretty much Christmas in July, that whole season for you. So.
So
Yeah, of course he does. He's married.
Hey, it's a COVID-19, quarantine channel. I think is what it's been for us.
But you're still working and you're still, navigating this pandemic. So bring us up to speed with, what is the progress report for GDOE?
Well, we were able to give an update to the board last night, but basically we just said, look, we know we had a lot of planning going on. We went through a lot of community outreach. We had an implementation ready to go, but you can't predict everything, and you can't even predict it within the course of a few days. So we were ready to go, starting out with 3 models of learning, including face-to-face instruction, beginning August 17th. Obviously, we went back to PCOR 1, so that became that fell off the board, and we're working to move everybody to either hard copy or online. But then in the what we're calling internally our super P-Core 1. We couldn't even do the hard copy distribution, at least until we get clearance from public health. So we had to suspend that and get back to the drawing board. And so right now, over the weekend, we reassessed where we were, and we reassessed our commitment and our mission to help our kids continue with some form of education, and to do it in a continuous and stable way. And so one of the things that we're working on right now is to accelerate the plans we had for expanding online learning. What that means for us is going into every school, pulling out every student laptop, and working a distribution plan, beginning with what we're going to look to do is begin with our high school and middle school students. So we know over the past few years, we purchased laptops and mobile carts and tablets really to support the students in school and to share amongst the classes and so forth. At this point, if online is going to be the primary option, and maybe for the foreseeable weeks, then we need to accelerate that. So we've got a 2-week plan to collect the inventory, work on aligning our activities and putting together an accountability plan. But our goal is to try to get those laptops into the hands of our high school and middle school students as much as possible who are not online already, to see what we can do to expand the online model and make that work for our older students. As we get new equipment in, then we will continue to expand even further, so long as we are in a situation where we are at a point where we're shut down as an island. We can't do this every week and keep changing every week, every other week. So we're going to have to make a decision at some point as to how we plan to provide a continuous, stable learning environment for our kids. And that's where we are. So, we expect it to be very, this year to be very unpredictable. We expected to see some of this happen, but maybe on a school by school basis. But for the whole district to be closed to our employees and our kids, that's really forcing us to get back to the drawing board. And what I'm happy about is we've got a team that's ready to keep, looking for solutions.
John, can we just real quick touch on, because I know you had mentioned this when we eliminated the face-to-face option, contacting parents of students who have yet to connect with the department about whether it's the hard copy pickup or online. Where are we with that? And again, we're putting out the call. Parents, where are you at?
Well, we brought that number down, probably from about 4,000 to about 2,500 over the course of last week. Yesterday in our board meeting, we also discussed, we had Mayor Savaras there as our Mayor's Council representative, and we discussed our next steps, which really is to go to the mayors with the list of students that we can't contact, and working with them to go out and find these families, update that contact information, and get them into school, basically. I mean, one of the challenges right now is the public health situation, but we're going to do what we can to work with the mayor's offices to make that contact happen. So I know from what the mayors are saying, they are continuing to work, even though they're not open to the public. So they're willing and able to take on the lists right away and start helping us identify those families. I believe they've done that already on a limited basis with some schools who were a little bit ahead of the curve and reached out to the mayors early and have been successful in that effort. I think just reaching out and updating the contact information by going out to the families, that's proven to at least identify some of the families that we've had on our list.
I'm going to just go ahead and read something here. What would GDOE get guidance from public health on guidelines on providing hard copy lessons? We need to be real that there are parents who don't have internet service.
Right. So as part of the online planning, we are of course going to have to tackle and figure out the internet access question as well. But we are currently asking for guidance and working with public health on 3 things actually. Number 1 is to ensure that we are able to start up our food distribution, which we hope to start starting on a Monday, which is August 31st, and do it. And with that, that's the commodity distribution, where we are going to be working with mayors through their villages to push the food commodities out to their residents. So we're putting together a schedule of the mayor's offices, the times of distribution, it should operate throughout the week and give more opportunities for residents to go and pick up food commodities. So if we get that clear to go, then we'll be starting that next week. We're also working on getting clearance with regard to the hard copy distribution. I think they just required us to submit a plan for them to review and approve. So we're working to get that done. And then the third item is that, with the ongoing pandemic and shutdown, there is still some business that needs to get done, including a lot of procurement, which is really the purchasing of more laptops, the purchasing of more technology, things that are in the mix that we still need to do. So we're looking at even doing curbside headquarters operations to the extent that we need to enable business to continue. So we are working closely with public health on all three areas to try not to disrupt our operations.
Does that emergency food distribution, that's separate from Grab and Go, right?
Right. The food distribution is what we were doing at Teton and at Dededo Farmers Market, where we were just sending out bags. Yeah, that's the program we're restarting. But instead of 2 locations, what we wanted to do was work with the mayors to do a distribution around the island on a village by village basis, so that we could focus on distributing the the bags of commodities, and the mayor's offices would take the responsibility for the distribution.
What about Grab and
we
Go?
appreciate their help. Excuse me?
Grab and Go, are you guys going to restart that? I know that last time we spoke, you were mentioning about this Friday mass distribution.
Right, so same situation. It probably won't happen this Friday, but we're looking to start that the week after, working with Sodexo, our food contractor, and looking at a once a week distribution on Fridays. That would happen at every school. That's the plan.
Wow.
So we were hoping to start this Friday, but now that we're in this pandemic situation, we wanted to hold off until we had an all clear to move forward.
So what if this PCOR 1 or Super PCOR 1 is continued for 2 weeks? You're still going to do the Grab and Go?
Well, we know that the executive order, there would have to be an executive order to allow for it, or to at least give us the opportunity to do so. So we've been in contact with the general counsel's office at the governor's offices to let them know that we would like to continue these activities. And if the executive order would at least allow for us to do so, we would appreciate that support. So I know that they understand what our plans are, and hopefully there will be language there. Even if it requires us to get public health approval, as long as we are able to do something to make it happen, we think that the food support and the hard copy distribution for sure are things that we want to move forward in this situation.
So you're going into 2 weeks of remote learning. Have you gotten any feedback from parents on how that's been going?
Absolutely, and next week and beginning next week, we're going to get even more. So we do have a lot of calls and a lot of anecdotal information regarding how things are going, and it's probably I think for the most part it's probably a mixed bag. A lot of anxiety and uncertainty about what would happen during the first weeks, but also some surprise that some of those some of the experiences went so well. I think it just depends on what parents were coming in expecting. But we do know that in this early launch, there's going to be a lot of room for improvement and adjustment. So what we did was we sent out a press release, and we're working with our island-wide PTOs to start up with some parent outreach next week. So 4 days of the week, starting August 31st, we'll be reaching out in the evenings through Zoom to welcome parents regionally. We're going to do North, Central, and South, and we're going to also split it up by elementary and secondary. So we plan to have 4 meetings next week, and then the week after, 4 more meetings, including one dedicated to our families of students in the special education program.
Where are we with the IEPs, John? I've heard from a couple, and I don't know if it's just individual case by case, but that some students with special needs have not gotten their individual education plans yet.
Well, part of that is just scheduling that opportunity in the early weeks of school or prior to the school year starting, and some of that has taken place. But as you can imagine, with the face-to-face situation being face-to-face option being removed, and now the fact that we can't have people on campus, it's been harder to do. And so I do know that virtual IEP meetings are taking place, but that's really been the challenge, to get everybody together, schedule something virtually versus in person, and try to make those meetings happen. In addition to that, early on, we were talking about IEPs where we could accommodate students by allowing them more opportunities to come to school face to face, which is what we were being requested by some of our special education families. Now that that option's off the table, we have to go back and say, how can we do this? How can we operate while we're stuck at home? And that's been another exercise and challenge that we've had to get through.
What about I asked about feedback from parents, but what about from teachers? Because they're having to change up how they're teaching children these days, and I know just based on experience that these teachers are not just working the normal, like 8 to 5, right? Because they're probably getting emails late at night, and they're also sending emails late at night to parents. So how are they dealing, and how are they coping with this?
Well, as you can imagine, the teachers, you had teachers were getting ready for face-to-face instruction. You had teachers getting ready for hard copy, and then you had our online. Some are doing multiple platforms just to get the school year started. So they're caught up in the middle of not just having to juggle the manner in which they're delivering instruction, but also dealing with the fact that I believe we're up to about 15 employees at Guam DOE who've tested positive. So in addition to making those early week adjustments and adjusting to the shutdown, we also we're getting a lot of concerns about the safety at being at the school facilities. So I think there's a lot of relief at this point from the teachers who are able to now work at home. And the challenge right now is to make sure that we can continue continue to do our work even without physically being at the facilities. So just a lot of adjustment, a lot of change, a lot of anxiety, and we just encourage everybody to anticipate that things may be unpredictable for the next few weeks, for the next few months, but that we're always going to put safety first for our employees and our students. And we're very glad that they've been working together to try to keep everybody calm and moving forward, and even in light of the fact that we don't always have all the answers, going forward. So we are working to continue the work for our students, but keeping our teachers and our staff safe in light of the current PCOR 1 situation.
Right. Yeah, and just a kudos to all the teachers, not just at GDOE, but everywhere else on this island, because like you said, they're not only educating our children, trying to change this up as we move into, or as we navigate distance learning, but also having to deal with issues that are happening in their own personal lives and inside their homes. So thank you to all of them.
Absolutely. Again, and you're right. This is for every school, charter, private, public. We're all trying to do our best to make the adjustments in these early weeks. And it's hard to tell what the next day will hold. I think this last week showed us, the different situations that could occur in the course of 7 days. And we've had to continue to adapt. I think there are some who might say, well, why don't we just give up on this school year and just wait till next or wait till January? But on the other hand, we do know that our kids need to continue learning in some form or fashion. We want to provide them some type of continuous and stable support, and we want to do that to the best that we can. So we're going to keep working at it and doing our best to adapt to the public health constraints. And I'm glad we have a good team all the way down into the school level of people who are focused on problem solving. So we look forward to the parents again next week and the week after, giving us their constructive, we hope, criticism as well as ideas. And the parents who've reached out to us do know and have recognized the challenge. And I believe that a lot of them would just want to, provide their comments, their experiences, and suggestions for making things work more smoothly. And we have to be an organization that's ready to make those adjustments if it'll improve, what we're doing during this COVID-19 school year.
So just for clarification, face-to-face discontinued until further notice, the hard copy distribution discontinued until further notice, and then everybody right now remote learning.
Right. We're working on hard copies. I know there's been some discussion because of the board meeting. There was some discussion about potentially canceling the face-to-face option for the rest of the semester at least. So we did say, look, it's going to depend on how our public health situation develops. But at some point, I did agree with the board that we can't make decisions to go one model to another model on a weekly basis. We have to, provide some stable plan of action. So that might become an option depending on how long the PCOR 1 situation lasts.
Well, we're looking. What if it's extended for another 2 weeks, which it kind of looks like is going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, by that time, I think we'll have a better picture of our laptop distribution potential as well as the hard copy distribution. So we might be able to make a better decision as we get close. In a couple of weeks, we might be able to call it. It just depends on the nature of the public health situation and our ability to deliver on the other two models.
The Soup, just wanted to congratulate you. As we know, the board just voted to extend your contract through 2025. So you're going to continue to lead the department for, the next 5 years. How key was this in cementing this as we're in the midst of this pandemic and kind of putting that part of, your contract and what's going to happen with your service to the department, being able to just put that away?
Well, I think the extension, and I want to thank the board, just for their confidence in continuing my leadership there. And of course, for me, it means just a lot more work, a lot more stress, and hopefully a lot more progress as we go along. But ultimately, I certainly didn't want to see this happen in the middle of a school year, one way or the other, that it'd be distracting us from the other hard work that we need to do, that we know we're going to need to do during the midst of this COVID-19 year. So I just suggested, I said, look, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that we ought to have this discussion now. Hopefully we can settle the discussion now so that we don't have to worry about this in the middle of the school year, whether it's renewing the contract or looking for another superintendent. This is going to be a challenging year in and of itself. So I think the board agreed that they wanted to take action now and allow us to get back to work focused on making things happen for our school children this year.
Well, we had a comment, John, and I'm not sure if you addressed this, but again, to just kind of snapshot some of the realities that we're dealing with, and I'm sure you're very familiar. We have a comment from Yoli talking about families that need internet. Some pockets are really remote. I've seen homes of my students that don't even have indoor plumbing. I'm curious how GDOE will address internet sourcing. And I know we've discussed this before, right? I feel like we discussed it a couple months ago.
No, it's again, our plan was to deliver three options because we know that our families are in different situations. So we had hoped the face-to-face and hard copy distribution would be available to families who are unable to move into online immediately. And we were looking at a January timeline of getting more equipment in, preparing our parents and schools to distribute more laptops and to deal with internet access around that same time frame. With the current situation, all of those plans are accelerated. And so instead of looking until January, we're looking at the next couple of weeks to begin, phase one of that distribution. So in line with the laptop and tablet discussion is going to be looking at solutions for internet access for our students. And we've discussed, I think, on this show, options for looking at, opening up our school campuses, our school parking lots for Wi-Fi access, as well as Wi-Fi access at community facilities in the villages. And then, of course, looking at what the options would be for household internet access. So those three things will be on the table for our discussions these next couple of weeks.
And these things would all...
Parking lot classrooms?
You know how the hotspots, at facilities go. Yeah. We want to say if there are people who want to come by and we're able to provide it at our school facilities, we're looking at opening up cafeterias so that we can safely welcome students. If they want to stay in their cars and have access just so they can work on their laptops or something, that would be an option we're looking at. I think the school bus option of parking a hotspot school bus out in an area of need. Wow. Those are the ideas we're kind of working through to see what's possible. And again, instead of having a few months, we're moving this into a rapid decision-making process so we can get going.
Crisis management, John. These things you're talking about with the internet access, would they be covered under the CARES Act funding?
Yes. I mean, depending what it is, but yes, that was the intent. Right now we focus a lot on the PPEs and getting those in. We have existing orders of laptops coming in, and we have an ongoing procurement for more. So it's very important, and that's why I raised the issue of procurement. We can't stop some of these processes from moving forward,
Right.
Because they're going to be crucial to not just the public schools, but our private and charter schools as well.
Right, and we have a comment here from Julie. Hopefully, there's an opportunity to create partnerships with internet carriers to improve and provide services to all students. I have your solution, John. You're welcome. No procurement necessary. Our local telecoms step up, provide the Wi-Fi zones for free, and reap the positive results and the positive association.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So we'll give you all the credit, Chris.
Thanks, John. Hey, and if you do that whole Wi-Fi zone of the school, I bet the house across the street's going to be loving that, right?
Well, we hope they have students over there. So.
Right on, John. Bree, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you, John, and we'll see you next Wednesday, if not sooner. We don't like to see you sooner because that means bad things are happening, but if we do, we'll put in the call. Okay, thanks, John.
Take care.
Wash your hands. All right, 8:49. We'll take a quick break, and we're coming back. Let's go flip it over to the Catholic schools here with Superintendent Juan Flores at 8:49 again. This is the Link on the Breeze. Good morning, Guam.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
If you plan on leaving your house, don't forget your face mask. Along with hand washing and social distancing, wearing face masks can drastically reduce your risk of infection. Many people who catch COVID-19 can be contagious before they even start showing symptoms. The more people who use face masks, the less the virus can be transmitted and fewer individuals are exposed. When we both wear face masks, I protect you, you protect me, and we are both safe.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
Hafa Day. I'm Dr. Jana Manglona, Medical Director for Public Health. We all play a role in slowing the spread of COVID-19. We must continue to stay strong and practice everyday preventive actions to keep our island safe. Maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and others. Wear cloth face coverings in public settings. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Clean and disinfect frequently used surfaces. Avoid touching your face. Stay home if you're sick. Let's protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or check out our website at dphss.guam.gov.
And barbecues.
Fiesta, what is that? Good morning. Good morning, Guam. Biba Metculis. It's Wednesday. FHB.com. First Hawaiian Bank, proud to sponsor The Link. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
You want to bring on our next guest?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I thought you meant do I want to, like, yeah, of course I do.
No,
it's
I'm just
Juan
like-
Flores. He's the superintendent of Catholic schools. Good morning, Juan.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Well, why don't you give us an update on how things are going for Catholic schools?
You know, this is our second week now of going fully online or doing full distance learning. And that varies from school to school. I got some really great reports from the schools yesterday. For the most part, every school is engaged in ways that maybe last March, April, and May, they never thought they would be engaged. But that's happening because teachers and principals voluntarily this summer, most of them voluntarily, participated in webinars, did their own professional development, just worked things out to figure out what we needed to do to get ready. And that 1 week of being in class face to face really helped a lot of schools prepare for this situation. It's not ideal. It's not what we really want as far as good education is concerned, but we're definitely more prepared for it. I want to say that even after a week and a half or only a week and a half, I think the attitude in most of the schools is, while they have these plans in place, they're more than open to continue to improve those plans, that they're not going to rest until they're convinced that students are being served well. And so I'm even hearing from parents who either have concerns that the kids are on their technology devices too much, or they're not on too enough. And so I share that with the principals, and then the principals bring that back to the teachers. They have discussions, they make modifications. And it's probably the greatest example, I think, of self-improvement at the school level and among teachers. And, you know, I have a couple of examples just at one school that I'm working with directly where, you know, teachers, I would say very experienced teachers, never thought they wanted to get involved in anything technologically demanding. But even they realize that they're going to learn. They're going to do Zoom. They're going to do Google Classroom. They're going to figure out ways to respond to the children. But there are also teachers for whom, if the parents don't have devices, or if they feel the children that are too young to get them on those devices, they're calling kids every day just to check up on them and to make sure that they get some kind of instruction. And you know, I think that I've been a part of a lot of webinars since March, and the 4 pillars of distance learning that I've learned about, and I'm now convinced we've got to pay attention to: developing a sense of community, making sure you have effective communication, providing ongoing assessment of how well the kids are doing, and then paying attention to how accessible things are for students. If we pay attention to those 4 things, then I think every one of our schools is doing that. I think we're going to end up having productive teaching and learning, regardless of what the method is.
Yeah.
What about the role of parents, Juan, in assisting a lot of these students and sometimes becoming teachers themselves?
Yeah, so one of the things that the schools are challenged by is to make sure that they don't just give assignments. You know, even with hard copy programs that we're doing right now, that's the reason why the teachers are calling the students, is that if the students have challenges, they want to instruct them. There's got to be instruction going on. We're not just giving them assignments and then saying, okay, you're on your own. That was one of the biggest criticisms of distance learning from the spring, was that there wasn't enough guidance, there wasn't enough instruction from the schools. And that's the thing that we're trying to work on the most, I think, is to make sure that there is instruction. And in some cases, that's full on all day online programs. The kids follow the daily schedule and they're engaged with their teachers all day. And in other cases, it's in very measured quantities. So the kids are online for a little bit and then they do some work and then they come out and come back, and the teachers have, I would call it, virtual office hours. So if the kids had any questions, that's not to minimize the role of the parents, it's to support the parents, because many of the parents, especially those who are working still, feel that they need that support. And if their children need to learn something, then they're going to turn to the teachers. The parents are there to make sure, one, that the kids are safe when they're online, and two, to support them, even if it means to help them articulate their questions or their problems. Because that might happen, that the parents are the ones who identify whether the kids even have an issue or have a problem with the learning that's taking place. And I think parents can play a role. Any parent that I talk to, I encourage them to communicate with the schools. And it doesn't mean the schools are going to change their programs because of one parent, but I bet that most of those schools, all of the schools actually, pay attention to what the parents have to offer and the concerns they bring up.
For like my son's school, they have been very accommodating. I think we had a whole group meeting over the weekend, and parents had voiced their concerns about the exposure to the blue light, and so they're making modifications to that. I think just for me though, I'm like having to learn Google Classroom, Google Meets, and all of this, and it can be a little overwhelming. But I see my son, and he's actually grasping it, and he's kind of learning it. But then he'll ask me, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah. And
so
then Bree
am
will
I
ask
having to
Jason.
let me look this up, and then and I call Jason, like, Jason, can you help me? Can you email this for me, because I can't do this and that. But
I'm tech support.
so it's kind of a learning curve for parents having to try and
Right.
learn all of this stuff too.
And Juan, we had Dr. Lombard on about the impact of screens and the blue light glasses, and I can send you the link to that interview if you want to pass that on to the teaching community. It was very, very
Great.
interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually just invited our school principals to participate in a national webinar on the role of parents in distance learning. It's sponsored by offered by the National Catholic Education Association and by a company called Eduscape. And the whole purpose of it is to make sure that it's actually a webinar that parents could actually participate in themselves to find out the extent to which they could support what their kids are doing. And I think that's important. This is probably the best example of how a true partnership can take place between the teachers and the parents.
Yeah. Well, I'd be interested in actually watching that myself. So hopefully I'll get the link.
Yeah, send the link to the link, Juan, and we'll link it up.
Was there anything else, Juan, you needed to get out before we let you go?
The only thing that I am very conscious of, when we talk about accessibility, we're always paying attention to whether or not families have the right access to not just devices, but to internet access. And that's a discussion actually that was started in March. I remember going to a meeting at the Homeland Security, and we sat with it was a phone conference with all the telecom companies. And I think if we want to level the playing field for all kids, I hope that's an area that we look at where we find ways to provide some access to families that may not have them. And while we're not seeing it in a big way with the Catholic school families, there still are pockets of concerns there among Catholic school families that they may not have the right access. And so I hope that some of the discussions from March can be put into play in terms of having community centers for internet access, or find a way for the entire island to be under Wi-Fi, which I know that's a dream, but
yeah,
I wish we could do it.
Well, hey, dreams come true sometimes. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Wash your hands, okay, and keep us posted.
Wash your hands, yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Send the link.
Dr. Juan Flores. What's up with our people who are tired this morning? You
Tired?
feel it. I feel it. Just like,
I know. I was this morning.
Yeah, I'm not, guys. I'm here for you guys.
Yep.
9:03. We're gonna do news. What we want to bring on Big Tone, and this is Big Tone. You're gonna get a spanking because your age group. Dudus permet. Yep. Hey, guys, if you spread it, we get locked down, so quit spreading it. That's just the wrong kind of sounds anyway, so. Okay. Let's bring Anthony Big Tone Solace onto the show. You guys, he's a familiar face. He's a, world-recognized gold medal winning power lifter who is, he believes that he's COVID-19 positive, but he doesn't know for sure because he did his part. Our government said, hey, if you feel like you have come into contact with anyone, come to our community mass testing. Come and get tested, they said. Come and get tested. So he did his part. He got tested, but lo and behold, how's that results? You haven't got the results right, Ton? Good morning.
Morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You still haven't gotten it?
So I got it yesterday.
Oh.
They called me in the morning. They informed me I was negative, but I believe to have got it from my son 2 days after because he tested positive. My son showed no symptoms at all. Maybe a cough here and there, but nothing major. So I asked the lady, if I'm negative, can I go places? She's like, no, you have to stay home. But I was like, I'm confused because I'm negative and my son's positive, and the whole time he could have been positive like 3-4 days prior to us actually getting tested. And I shared a drink with the kid. I didn't even know that he was positive that whole time.
And he was not exhibiting any sort of symptoms at all the whole time?
Yeah, maybe like a sneeze here or there, but nothing too, he didn't even have a fever. I was the one that had a slight fever.
Right. So, Ton, let's just walk back the timeline of this, right? So you went and got tested. When did you get tested?
Saturday, I believe it was the 15th.
Saturday, August 15th, just got the results yesterday, but you believe that you were exposed to the virus through your son 2 days after you went and got tested.
Yes, I believe I probably got it the day that we got tested because we were together that whole day, and I took him to get McDonald's and I drank his drink. Then on Tuesday, I started to feel really sick. So I believe I got it from him the day of the testing.
Right. Let's talk about that.
Do you know where he got it? I mean,
how old's your son?
He's 8.
Do you have any idea where he may have been exposed?
No. You see, we had a birthday for him at PIC the weekend before, and I'm not saying we got it there because he didn't show any symptoms. He could have got it anywhere. Could have got it at the store. Kids, they just touch things and they don't even realize what they're doing. So that's just my thought. And then, I know the temperature thing, we do that temperature stuff, but if my son didn't show any symptoms, it's like, how do we do that at school, For us people who work at schools, how can we tell if that's really something that's going to help prevent COVID into the schools?
Ton, let's talk about you getting this illness. You're a young buck. You're a healthy guy. You lift what, 500, 600? How many pounds? What's your deadlift, bro? What's your deadlift?
700.
Oh, 700? Only that?
What an insult,
Shit.
600.
How many bags of rice is that, boy? How many? Don't.
711 pounds is my deadlift, man.
Right.
And
the COVID deadlifted you, right?
It felt like, man, my back, the first 4 days, it feels like somebody has their knee like directly on your lower back. It was painful.
What else did you experience? Did you have a temperature?
My temperature was 99.3. It wasn't too crazy. That's when I started to, I knew that something was up. Then the headaches came. The nauseous, you feel like you want to throw up every time you stand up. Even to use the restroom, it's like you're debating, do you even want to go because the walk feels forever. It's hard to sleep, especially at nighttime. It just feels like Well, when I was talking the other day, it was hard for me to like catch my breath, so I'd always have to take it back, talk slow, breathe, and then breathe again. But today I'm feeling a lot better than I was these last 6 days.
What do you have to say to your people, Ton? What breed? We got those numbers from yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I do.
So we're seeing, and we had several doctors on, and it looks like it is the 20 to 29.
Oh, well, I can just tell you
Yeah.
that it was over 42 from the age group of 20 to 39.
Right.
That was more a bulk of the positive cases. So from 20 to 39, it was 42. So 42 positive cases within that
Just
age
yesterday,
group,
right? And so they're tracking high over the last few weeks. Ton, how old are you?
I'm 30.
30, right? So
30 years old, man.
Why do you think people in that age group from 20 to 40 are getting COVID?
I'm gonna say this by honest experience. I felt that I wasn't gonna catch it. I felt that me being younger, it wasn't gonna bother me. I was doing things that I knew I shouldn't be doing, like going places where there's people, a lot of people. And I kind of let my guard down. Took my son with me, and he probably could have caught it when I took him somewhere. So I'm saying that I know we feel that we're young and COVID's not gonna get us, but man, the way I felt, losing my appetite, losing my smell, it's something like I wouldn't play around with. If I get better, I'm still gonna be afraid to go places. Just knowing how bad I felt, like I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, not even my greatest enemy. It's a really hard feeling to deal with. The chills are ridiculous. The headaches, man, those are the worst. The headaches, so those are the worst out of the whole virus. So I just say, if you don't need to go anywhere, just stay home.
Stay home.
Protect the elders, man.
Right. Ton, I know, and I got another friend who, like you, this guy is just, always in great shape. Same thing. The headaches, the crazy body aches. And I don't know the circumstances of the exposure, but what my friend is telling me is like, yeah, this is not a hoax. It's so serious. And they also want to just put that message out that you're putting out now.
Yeah, I truly believe that, for real, I always exercise. And I haven't been I think it's 9 days I've been stuck in this room. I tried to do something little yesterday just to exercise my breathing, but I don't have my strength back. And it's going to take a while, but I'll get it back.
I saw something on, I think it was on your social media, and it was also something that the Lieutenant Governor had touched on when we interviewed him yesterday, just about the overwhelming support that he received from people, whether or not it was just that they left some water or some juice outside of his door and left. And I think I saw that too, that it's the same situation with you, that you had people that left stuff for you. Is there any kind of message you'd like?
Oh, yes. Thank you to everybody. Man, there's family, friends, my guerrilla squad. These people were calling me up, asking me, do I need anything? And they're delivering liquids, some calamansi, medicine, all kinds of things that I would have never thought to expect during a time like this. It did get frustrating in the beginning, not knowing how to feed my family and stuff, but having the support from all my friends, I appreciate y'all, man.
Ton, I heard that you were big on the calamansi and honey.
Yes, that's amazing. And my coworker's from Jotnia, so I think that's where she got it from. So it's good, man.
It's that Jotnia calamansi. There might have been a little something extra in there. Some of that pulantat pow.
But yeah, it's good, man. It really helped my throat. So yeah, thank them for that.
Damn, Tony, you look like you're hurting, dude.
Man, I
Feel for
don't know
you.
if I'm small or if it's the camera, but I don't feel as I normally feel. I feel kind of small and
Yeah, your neck's skinny. Nah, this guy's swole, dude. I mean, you're freaking
Yeah.
big tone. You're just like not as big tone now.
yeah, and I feel it.
Yeah.
It's stressful. It's stressful. I saw myself in the mirror the other day, and I was thinking to myself, man, I just want to grind again. I want to train, but
Right.
I have a bigger. I need to lift people's spirits up right now. You know, it's something they gotta open their eyes, lift their eyes, and see that this ain't no joke. And you know, I know they shut down the running and stuff, but hey, if you can do push-ups, I did pull-ups at my house. I did push-ups in my house. You don't need to always run to do some sort of exercise. You know, you can do anything at your house.
Cardio
So, you wanna
sucks
keep
anyway.
active, just I agree.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah, guys. I mean, who wants to run anyway, guys? Ton, thank you for coming on, and yeah, I think it's key. And I know you with the breathing, we don't want to keep you on here too long, but I think your message was powerful out to people your age who thought they were invincible, and they're finding out that they're definitely not. So, Ton, thank you so much, man. Anything in closing you want to
Thank
put
you,
up?
guys.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
In closing, you want to put up?
Hey, it's thank you to everybody on my whole island. I represent Guam to the fullest because the amount of support I got from this place, and that's being other than that, just thank you everybody for the love, the prayers, and the support. I'm gonna beat this. We're gonna all beat this, and life's gonna get back to what it was.
Thanks, Tone.
Thanks, Tone, man.
Thank you.
Be safe, and yeah, keep us. We'll follow your Instagram and let us know when you get back to working out. But take it easy, okay?
Yeah, get some rest.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Okay, Ton. Take it easy. That's wash your hands. 9:16. Hey, we'll take a quick break. Remember, we're signing off early. We're going to close the show out with a look at news with Sabrina. That's coming up here at 9:16. Again, we're ending early because there's a Chamber of Commerce Congressional Forum that we're going to stream at 10 a.m. on our KUAM News Facebook page. So we'll be back with more of the link right here on The Breeze 93.9. Good morning.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We got your 6
at 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
Half a day. I'm Dr. Jana Manglonia, Medical Director for Public Health. We all play a role in slowing the spread of COVID-19. We must continue to stay strong and practice everyday preventive actions to keep our island safe. Maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and others. Wear cloth face coverings in public settings. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Clean and disinfect frequently used surfaces. Avoid touching your face. Stay home if you're sick. Let's protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or check out our website at dphss.guam.gov.
just talking about the school, right? Like, I'm of the opinion, I'm sorry, but I don't think the kids should be doing schoolwork right now. I mean, we're like facing a life and death pandemic. I mean, math might not even matter in 6 months. I'm kind of kidding a little bit. But it's almost like, oh, we're this pandemic, we're in a lockdown, it's life and death, but you're still going to school. They remind me of my grandparents. You're going to school. And then we're talking about kids having to learn and get A's in this environment when mom and dad are freaking the hell out, when, everything's shut down. Nobody better get an F in school this year. Nobody. I better not see one F out there because I will flip this table. I will flip it. I'm not saying give them all straight A's, but, nobody better get an F.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to help my son. I really am trying.
Yeah.
He sees me like the times that I brought him here, and I'm just like about to go crazy.
Yeah. So 9:21.
He gets more emails than me. I'm like, geez, every single teacher. Slow down, please.
I mean, it's
I
like
can barely
this,
check all of mine.
I'm sorry, but this online, it's just way more intensive, and there's so much more work involved. It's like 10 times the work of the regular school, in class and all that stuff. And you would think it would be like, it kind of seems like, oh, it's going to go online, it's going to be easy. And no, it's not. Because it's not just online. They're dumping all this stuff online, and then, the parents got to, sort through it and figure it out. And
Google Ass Room. I'm telling you. It is.
Did you say Google Ass Room?
I mean, Classroom. That was my. Oh, geez. That was.
Yeah, I want no part of that Google room.
No, I mean, I'm just having to learn it. And
Yeah. No, and I mean, if you're having to learn it, so are a lot of other parents. So, yeah, nobody better get an F. That's all I'm saying. Give the F to the parents if you're going to give an F.
Yeah, the anxiety of just please.
Like you were
just
tied,
pass,
you were
pass.
tied into your son's grade. Like he can actually be like, "No, mom, it was you. You didn't do the Google Meets thing right."
He's learned it though. Google Meets.
Right.
I've kind of learned it too. Just click.
I gave up on
I was
that.
like, Jason
was
this is
trying.
Google. Google what is this?
Jason tried to Google Meet once, and I was like, "How do you ignore this? Like, I want to set it on permanent ignore. I don't want to do any Google anything. Come, you know where I sit." 9:23. Let's go ahead and close out the show with the news from the KUAM news team again here on the link. It's the Breeze 93.9. Good morning, Sabrina Salas Matanani.
Half a day, everybody. There are 77 new positive cases, bringing Guam's COVID-19 case count to 984. 429 of those cases are active. And there are 7 deaths. According to Tuesday's situation report from Public Health, 28 people are hospitalized. In terms of the new cases, the bulk of the positives, or 42, are young adults ranging from 20 to 39 years old. Meanwhile, the total number of police officers infected by the virus now stands at 11 after 2 more officers tested positive. All officers are on home isolation. The latest one to test positive are assigned to GPD specialized units. Over at the Guam Department of Education, an employee at Harry S. Truman Elementary tested positive for COVID, bringing the total number of COVID cases at GDOE to 15. There's also another positive case to report out of the Guam legislature. The employee remains on home isolation and was last in the Guam Congress building on August 12th, the day before it was closed following another employee testing positive. This brings the total number of confirmed cases out of the legislature to 3. As reported, Senator Will Castro previously came forward announcing he had been infected with the virus. According to a media release, Public Health has provided a timeline on procedures for reopening the Congress building. The earliest possible date is this Thursday. That is the day the Speaker has called colleagues into session to address legislation to cancel this Saturday's primary election. The Guam International Airport Authority also announcing that a second office employee is tested positive for COVID. The first confirmed case was reported on the 13th. Airport Executive Manager John Kanata says they continue to effectuate measures to ensure the protection of the community by limiting entry into the terminal exclusively to airport authorized employees, passengers, and those providing the airport's approved essential services. In other news, the Republican National Convention is underway in North Carolina, where delegations from across the country officially nominated President Donald Trump. Representing Guam was National Committeeman Juan Carlos Benitez.
Madam Secretary, a warm half a day from the U.S. territory of Guam, homeland of the Chamorro people, Tanoy Manchamorro, where all are welcome regardless of your race, creed, and national origin. We would like to express our sincere gratitude, Sijus Maase, to President Donald Trump for making sure that the people of Guam are treated as equal members of our great nation, especially with the federal relief that has been provided to the territory during this global pandemic. Sujus Masi, President Trump, in providing closure to the Chamorro people that suffered horrible atrocities during the 3 years Japanese occupation of our island during World War II. We raise our voices and pray to Our Lady of Camelin, Santa Maria Camelin, the patron saint of our island, to bless President Donald Trump and bless President Mike Pence in this upcoming election. Madam Secretary, the territory of Guam is proud to cast its 9 votes for President Donald J. Trump. J. Trump.
Benitez was joined by Guam GOP Committee women Margaret Metcalf and Shelley Gibson. A pair of hiking incidents involving a group of military service members is being investigated by individual commands. Navy Lieutenant Commander Rick Moore says Joint Region Marianas is aware of the reports of service members hiking amid PCOR 1 in Guam, adding if a service member is suspected of violating HPCON Charlie, PCOR 1 or other local health protection orders, whether on or off base, we will investigate. As reported on Sunday evening, GFD's 911 center received a call that a male hiker had gotten lost in the Fenner Reservoir area. GFD rescue units were able to locate the hiker. Then early Monday morning, a call came in for another lost group member around the Mount Lamlam area. That hiker was found along the roadway by a motorist. According to Moore, service members determined to be in violation of these directives may be held accountable under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Guam Economic Development Authority has announced the extension of its qualifying certificate community contribution grant program deadline for applications that was due on the 28th. The program aims to provide grants up to $10,000 to nonprofit organizations for projects that will benefit the island community. This grant funding is provided by Guam Regional Medical City and Supaki Hotel. Projects must fall within one of the following categories: healthcare, public safety, higher education, cultural preservation, tourist attractions, sports tourism, or economic development. The new deadline for applications is September 11th at 5 p.m. And for more information, you can visit the GITA website at www.investguam.com. Attorney General Levin Camacho, alongside attorneys general from all 50 states and the 5 other U.S. territories, is urging Congress to adopt key changes to the Victims of Crime Act, which provides critical financial support to victims of violent crimes and their families. The Attorney General calls on Congress to adopt changes to the Crime Victims Fund, a national fund that supports victim service programs. The recommendations will stabilize the fund's finances and provide more flexibility to grantees who are providing services to victims and their families. AG Camacho says the measures they're calling for would help also sustain the Criminal Injuries Compensation Program, from which they have awarded over $600,000 to victims of violent crimes and their families to help with expenses such as medical bills. And that is your news.
Thank you, Sabrina. And thank you, Joe, sir. Thank you, Jason Salas, who's going back there and he's tightening the screws for our next live stream, which will happen in 31 minutes from now. It's the Chamber of Commerce Congressional Forum, where they're going to have Congressman San Nicolas, former delegate Robert Underwood, and
Will Castro.
There you go, Republican contender Will Castro. So thank you guys so much for watching the show. We'll be back at you tomorrow on Thursday with more of The Link on the Breeze at 93.9. It is all proudly brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, FHB.com, Cowboy Enterprises, and IT&E. Good job today, Bree.
Good job. We'll see you guys at 6.
Yes, we have your 6 with our KUAM News primetime show. And remember, all the interviews you get on The Link here, a lot of people talking about that Dr. Maglonia interview. We put them out on the YouTube a little bit after the show, and they cut them up individually. So if you want to go back and share any of those interviews,
please share the Dr. Manglotnia interview. People
Right.
need to hear this.
right, you can go and do that on the YouTube. Okay, my name is Chris. Hasta. Adios.
Bye.